Plug you in like an IV. Caliber the voters, the people is taking over. Get paid for your voice and don't let them go take your choice. Remember you have voice, won't stop until you rejoice. You see when it is over right after the hangover. Make posts, that's all I know. Re-steam like Mo. I'm steaming. Steeming. Crypto, that's how we roll. Power up, get more. I'm steaming. Steeming. That's right, I said it, get paid, I meant it. There's some money in your post if it's all authentic. There's some real life people, not some funny algorithm. Keep the fakes all away. We don't play the plagiarism. Down vote, down vote. That posts abuse the site. Steam cleaners, they roast. Give credit, give props to a witness. Keep the steam block true. Bear witness. Dan Larimer.
Yep.
Scott.
What's up, everyone on my channel? If anyone is on my channel, we're going to get started in just a second with the steaming pile. Some of you are already watching. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and bring our cameras up. We got Sean and myself today. What's up, Sean? I hear that. So if you guys are watching and you want to come in, you can see this. You go to zoom.us and you type in that 468-186-430, and that'll bring you in live. You can, if you only want to do audio, that's fine. If you want to do audio video, that's cool. If you want to talk, that's fine. If you just want to listen live and not watch Vim TV, then you can do that as well. So welcome. Are we sure this is 36? It's too late. Too late anyway. Last week was, we promoted that last week was 35, so. I like to ask that just to throw you off. So what's new? AdventTube. I really enjoy that. I wasn't sure, you know, when you started doing the vlogging stuff earlier, I wasn't sure how that was going to go for me. And I found that I really like it. It's fun. I like having different questions each day and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like the prompts. It's really cool. Get you thinking and talking about stuff you wouldn't. And he's doing a cool job of editing it into like a single voice, but celebrating our differences sort of thing.
Yep.
The more we're different, the more we're alike sort of thing. And so, yeah, I really like it, and it's really fun, and it gets me creating every day, which kind of like I created that video this morning and then did my snap for today and set up so it kind of gets me going, knowing that that's the one thing I definitely want to get that today. I don't even want to do them ahead of time because I kind of like that. Oh, here's the next one. I'm going to just do it on the spot, think about it for the day if I need. That's usually what's happening. If I loaded it up later in the day, it's just because I was like, the first take was like, nah, I got to think about this more. So.
Yep, for sure. And that's why I haven't gone ahead yet. What's up, dude, on the web? Thanks for watching. You can come on in here and say hi if you'd like. Yeah, I like and it takes me a little bit because I'm going to have a good response. It takes me a little bit to marinate on the question. I usually take the morning when I'm either working or with the kids and just kind of thinking about what my answer is going to be. Because I didn't do mine for tomorrow or for day 5 until probably about a half hour ago.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the way it goes. It just hits you at the last second.
Yep.
Or you just don't know, and you're going to kind of just wing it. So either way, man.
And hopefully Team Humble, his name's Phil, hopefully he's going to come in later. He said he's going to try to come in if we're still on. I think it's like 4 a.m. his time. He said he's going to go to bed and wake up early and try to do it. You don't need to get rid of your backdrop. Oh. Wow. We get to see what's going on behind the camera. Or behind the screen. What's up, Eric? What's up, ESP?
Don't mind the man behind the curtain.
We don't. We don't mind him at all. We like the man behind the curtain. What's new with you guys? We're just kind of kicking it off, waiting to see who jumps on the pile.
So who did I see? The Team Humble and Deep Dive.
We got deep dives, Advent Tube from Team Humble, witness survey update. If Patrick comes in, if not, I'll try to like piecemeal one together, and then getting some ideas from you guys around social broadcasting and what are some. Because you hit me up on Discord, Eric, and then that got me thinking. That might be another cool thing to do on the Steeming Pile. Is like, what are some talk shows that we can put together using Zoom, and how can we help each other to make that happen? So
Yeah, I don't know how familiar you are with Smoke, but the CEO of it, he is very active in the community. So it's really easy to get his ear. And somebody did a DTube video and was mentioning doing a show. And I said, hey, let's start figuring out what we can do here to start streaming through Vim and posting it on smoke.io.
yeah. Did
Awesome.
you and for G1 NBC we have, because they're actually based out of Michigan. They have 3 affiliates that are in Michigan: Ann Arbor, Detroit, and Livingston County. And they have a person there that wants to do a. They want to start the Cannabis Network, which just basically curates shows and posts and things like that related to cannabis and things like that. So I thought that would be a
Excellent.
cool home for that show. And Sean, I just saw that you did a Smoke.io show yesterday,
I
or
sure
at least
did.
a pilot.
Oh yeah, I decided, I like to wing it. It's like you think about things and you just, if you keep thinking about them, they never get fucking done. So I had the time, and I figured why not just jump on. And yeah, I figured I wanted to do something using the song request feature that Vimbot does. So I was trying to test that out. So the first hour and a half is Sharon and me trying to figure that out. So I finally figured it out, got it set up so we can watch the videos and everything. And it won't just be me, like, at first it was just me listening, smoking some weed.
Sure.
But I also wanted, like, every now and then I was breaking down a song. So there'll be like some breaking down of songs. Right now it's like just memory lane. I'm like listening to old, like, 90s metal and shit. But it was super fun. I got a lot of good feedback from it. So I'll definitely be doing those whenever I can.
Cool.
And I tried to, like you were mentioning, clip it up and put it on Smoke, but OpenShot, open source video processing, does not like Windows 10. So I have to find a different option.
Well, what I did, I was actually trimming some, and I just was streaming me trimming. And I posted it on smoke.io, and what I did was I did the post on Vim, and then I edited it, copied the content, and then put it into smoke.io. And then, so basically my thumbnail popped up there, the information to connect to the stream, and I added something for smoke.io. And quite a few people supported that and really, really supported some sort of, using Vim and posting on Smoke.
So were you saying you posted on Smoke while you were live?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that'd be a way to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started streaming and it made the Steam post, right?
Yes.
And then I edited it, took that information, put it in the Smoke post. And then when I was done, I put in parentheses live now. And then as soon as I was done, I went back to the post, edited it, and said stream over. And then normally in that situation, if it was something worth saving, like recording and posting, at that point I would put the replay in there. So,
Right. Yeah. I think the one thing I'm using, usually the OBS recordings work in it, but this was, again, I went like 3 hours and it just doesn't like it. And OpenShot, I looked it up, and OpenShot's like, there's lots of people on there saying, oh, it's not fucking working on Windows. And I thought it was just my computer shitting bricks, because it's like you can't even like touch the timeline without it freezing. So I just got to try a different open source editor. But that's definitely that's kind of similar to what I want to do with this show, is cut it up into at least, consumable segments.
Sure.
I mean, it went longer than I wanted because I was, trying to figure out the technical stuff, but before I knew it was like 11 o'clock. But yeah, in the future, it'll be a little bit shorter, a little more concise. But yeah, it's fun. I like that community over there.
And
So you're talking about your editing prog was munching your computer?
Well, I thought that's what it was doing, but apparently this open source video editor, OpenShot, just doesn't like Windows 10.
I use a thing called VidCutter, and it's
okay.
Yeah, it's fairly to the point. That's all it damn does is cut vids, and I think I got a pirated version of it. I can upload it, put it on some site or whatever. But that's all I use VidCutter for, because in my editing thing, and I forget what it is. I forget what it's even called. Something shot 2017 or whatever. No, hit film. I don't know what the fuck it's called. My editing suite. When it comes time to just grab a video, a small segment, whether it's 3 minutes long or whether it's 2 hour long thing, VidCutter just works best for just cutting out sections, and then I work with those to composite my editing in the editing thing. So I'll link you to a VidCutter version that you can snag.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
Nice.
Just an idea.
So,
John, were you thinking about the with the network with the G1 NBC? I'm literally reading it behind you there. Is that what you're thinking about? Is that why you brought that up?
yeah. Yep. I sent you the link there on the site. I can put it up here in chat. But I sent you the link on Discord and said let's feature some of those. Let's feature some of those shows on that website. Whether it's does Smoke.io allow those videos posted there to be embedded, or would they have to be somewhere else to have them show up?
I'm not sure. I believe the head guy released Twitch, DTube, and something else embedding.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, so my thinking is, and with G1NBC, right, with ours, is as long as there's stuff to post, whether it's a blog post, a embedded video, things like that, let's just find some people that are interested in working with me to manage that page, and then we can cross-post the content there. And then that is, the cool thing about that is we can sell ads on those G1NBC sites, and so then they don't have to go on Steam. So it's one of those options that kind of people don't want to see ads on Steam or any Steam-related compressor, then that's fine. I think the G1NBC sites give us the ability to sell ads and generate revenue that way in a different manner. So if you guys are interested in it, I think we just have another conversation offline where I can show you the site and talk you through what that would look like as far as putting some Smoke.io shows over there. And I think we open that up to that community or get in touch with the guy that created the site.
Great. Sounds real good. Yeah. He's very readily available.
Cool.
So that's really neat.
So
Tells you what he's working on and good ideas and things that he's thinking about.
good. So what's your show gonna be? Like what were you thinking? Your talk show idea? Is
I
it
didn't really have one in mind except to just at least initially talk to some of the players in the game and see what they're up to and what they want to see, and just basically let the community try and develop that narrative for where we would go, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I especially think, and if you do it kind of like this, like an open space type concept, then you're exactly right. They'll determine where that goes, and that could be just one talk show, and then Sean's addition to that, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other people on there that would be interested.
Yeah.
Music on Fire. You can just start calling it that. I like that name.
It's already cut, huh? It's already set.
Fucking A.
I like your. Did you make that logo?
Well, I mean, I found the pieces. I didn't actually draw up that little GIF. I'm reaching out to that guy to see what he thinks about me using it. So we'll see.
Cool.
I'll be like, if hopefully he's not on Steam. I'll be like, yeah, get on Steam. I'll give you a little cut of whatever I make on episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was perfect.
All right.
Somebody did ask what is this smoke.io?
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Got him.
I'm listening.
It's a Steeming clone having to do with cannabis content, and I must say, in the couple months that it's been out there, the quality content's good. The trending pages is clean. People kind of learn their lesson as far as how they want to operate on Steam, and they've changed those habits. The whales are heavily into curation and really rewarding the good content, where it makes a huge difference in your rewards. But it's great.
Does it run on a blockchain?
Yeah, yeah. It has witnesses.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Do
basically.
they have their own token, or what are they using?
Yeah, they have their own token, smoke token,
Okay.
hovering around 5 cents. It's been at 5 cents for a while, but it's actually the ROI on it. The curation is higher, which incentivizes people to hold the token because the curation rewards are higher. So the motivation is there to make sure you use it. And,
How many smoke tokens do you need to buy a blunt? Your average blunt.
I don't know if anybody's traded for that yet.
I'm sure they can't yet. But
there's something on there.
It doesn't mean it won't be
post.
happening soon.
Someone's already working on it, where you can right, Eric, somewhere on that site it says something like trade up.
I may have missed it.
I swear it does. Yeah, actually.
Coming soon.
If it's not there, yeah, it's definitely something they'll be working on in the future for sure.
Well, it would make sense if you have a couple friends that are together to say, "Hey, man, I'll just trade you these." Exactly. Is that cool?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. What I don't see a lot, because we're all here, we're all digitally connecting, is a show where there's like more than one person. And so I'm reaching out to my buddy, who's like my longest weed buddy, and I'm like, come on, man, what's better than me sitting around is both of us sitting around talking to each other. Like we could do whole albums, right? Or something like that. Like, so that would be a cool new addition or a new angle on a show for the blockchain.
I haven't seen anything like it.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, yeah, this is a good idea. I'm just going to do it, and then it's out there. I've done it once,
Lots of opportunity.
Exactly.
So this isn't related to a topic for tonight, but I finally figured out how to use Vim chat because I was jealous. I was jealous of Eric's overlay that had the D-Live and upvotes and all integrated. So I had to figure it out. It took me longer than it should have, and I was only messing up one thing.
But other than that, fairly easy, right?
Other than that, fairly easy. I put in the whole link to my Vim TV channel instead of just my name. And I'm like, why isn't this working? This sucks. And like 45 minutes before tonight, I figured it out, and everything came together, and my life is now simpler and better because I used my proof of brain.
Do you just keep that page open?
And I didn't have to ask anyone. What's that?
Do you just have that screen open and then you can see it in a convenient way?
Which one?
The Vim.chat. Or do you just have it, do you read it through the OBS?
No, I read it through OBS.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're using Vim chat. Okay.
Sharen's watching too, and I had the upvote tracker isn't working, so I think I have to go back and actually update that.
Mine wasn't working either last I tried. I figured I was just doing something.
I always have a bazillion questions for you guys.
Sharen says he sees the whole URL when we do stupid shit. Well, send us a message and tell us how dumb we are. It'll help us out. Just be like, I see you. Just do it on Discord. Be like, John, you are an idiot. You're causing errors. Go, EDSP, sorry.
What I was saying is I always have a billion questions, but here lately I'm just been working so hard, my brain just burned out. But and I probably asked this one before. I'd be surprised if I hadn't. But between the bunch of y'all, I'm from the South. There's pretty much a solution for everything as far as exploring the various available channels. I mean, you guys have a solution for replay. You were just talking about a solution for chat. You've got Vim TV. You can always fall back to the DTube if you want to do that. The Lino token, whatever it is. There you go.
Oh, not D Live.
That's what I meant, D Live.
Eric collects Lino beans. He's going to give those to us one day.
But my point is that this is the go-to group as far as live streaming or even replay or even chat or even getting together a group of enthusiasts about, around a certain topic. That alone is quite a feat. I mean, but this is the go-to group if you wanted to ask somebody about stuff like that, right?
Thank you. I don't know.
I'd say so.
I don't know. I think we are for live streaming video. I think the MSP Waves community is a lot broader and larger. They have a lot more active people in their Discord, and they have some really good shows. And they broadcast live on Vim, I think 24 hours. So I check in on them every now and again.
Them on Discord. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they're cool just to pop in on their shows. Pensive does a great job at reposting our stuff, and when I do my social broadcasting shows, so. I don't know that. I mean, I think we just tried to claim the space of live streaming when we did this. So, Element Zero, thank you.
Well, and I guess what I'm getting at is everybody seems to be slowly, sort of in an awkward way, once in a while, getting to the solutions for their questions. The answers for their questions. I like that.
Cool.
Because mine are going to be more specific and pointed when I get my shit together.
Yes. When's that going to be?
I am so busy the next 2.5 weeks.
That's not a condescending question either. That's a serious.
No, I went from doing nothing, sitting around on my ass trying to formulate a plan, to wow, I've got a game plan now. I'm ready to do this. I started to do it, and then I went to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it's always something, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I have a temp gig.
That's good though, man. Right?
Yeah. I needed the money. I was going to say over here.
Every now and again, we have to go and work for fiat.
I was behind on my rent, man. I was that close to being homeless, so it's going to be okay.
Good.
Yeah. Right around Christmas, I should be all right.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
hey, you want to see the footage of me pulling my molar?
Are you serious? Would you use pliers?
I think,
what do you mean?
I think I mentioned this early on when I first started coming here. I was having a lot of pain with my second molar. And, I was talking about what I was thinking about doing in terms of my Steem It channel. And I mentioned something about Slog Through Your Bog as a series, and I've gotten started on that. And I mentioned talking about things that are my interest, talking about the ESP topic, economic, social, and political. And then I think I tossed out there, and you know what? I'm having this really bad tooth pain, and I might pull a molar and make a video of it. Well, the other night, Sunday night, I just got so fed up with it that I finally took a video of me pulling the molar out of the side of my face. It's kind of fun.
Where's it at? How are we going to see it? Is it on YouTube?
No, I haven't actually put it into a video yet. I've got the stock footage, so this would be a preview.
Oh,
So
okay.
some people have preemptives, and I'll have a preview of a video that I'm going to put together. So if you want to get into that at some point, if it gets really boring in here, we can look at me. Let's watch ESP pull that fucking molar out of his mouth.
For sure.
Great. I'm referring to myself in the third person.
So,
hola.
I never claimed to be normal.
Let's see who jumped on.
That's why you fit in so well around here.
Here we are. So
Narashi's here. What's up, Narashi?
Hi. I just came by because I wasn't sure if you guys read Telegram. I was actually just going to drop this in chat in here, but Mickey and I are out for the night.
I saw that on Twitter.
Have a fun time?
No, he doesn't. Well, yeah, he put it on Twitter. Or he tweeted a reply. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Sorry.
Thank you.
You're
No, that's
coming
all
in
right.
to
Thank
tell
you
us
very
that you're not coming in?
Yes.
Don't
They're
ever
not-
do that again.
I know.
Just don't
Shame.
show
Wait,
up.
she
You know
just
what?
called in sick.
I love
so
the
considerate.
obligation. I feel that that's very special that you guys had to do that. But this is an open space show.
Cool.
One of these days, I might not show up. I'll open the room and not turn on my camera.
Well, if you call in during the show, if you don't call in at least 2 hours before, technically it's a no call, no show, and you're fired.
And you're what 25 minutes late. That's definitely some kind of penalty. Is Gone Rogue like? Is he sick? Is he buckled over?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't consider it buckled over, but he's definitely coming down with something. And we've got the kiddos. He's out with one of them right now. I don't know if you saw on Telegram, but they need undies. So he's doing that. I've got the other 2 kiddos here. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, no worries, you guys. No
Hold
worries.
down the fort.
Thanks for calling in. I hope you guys are well.
That was overly considerate of you. Go do what you have to do. Take care of life and shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. I'll see you guys
Well,
later.
who's gonna take notes?
Oh, man. The pressure's real.
Get out of here.
We'll survive.
We love you guys.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have fun.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
See ya. All right, so we got pre-footage of ESP taking his tooth out. I mean, this could be a very early night for all of us. We have we have deep dives. I was going to talk about deep dives. The CIA library, the post that they just did, asking for articles or for like if anyone was interested in doing a write-up on their. I would say it's a contest, but it's also like their next thing. Brainstorming some ideas for some social broadcasting shows, which we kind of started with the discussion earlier. And I already forgot the name of the smoke.io stuff. Right. And then what was the other one that we were going to do? Witness survey updates. If Patrick was here, I said I might be able to piecemeal stuff together.
I've got my cocktail that I'm going to make.
Yep, you're going to make your cocktail. So how do we want to tackle it?
We're doing the cocktail segment again?
I have late breaking news that I'd like to share.
Uh-oh.
Let's hear it.
If I sent a link, would anybody else? If somebody else wouldn't mind playing it.
John's all over it.
As long as I mean, I can. Sometimes my computer starts getting funky if I try to play a link, but I will try.
What is it?
That's what I'm kind of worried about too.
Surprise us.
Yeah, I am going to surprise you.
Okay.
I'm not setting anybody up. This is a good one.
I'm not going to replay another one of Ned's live streams, am I?
No.
Thank God.
No.
Man, that last one was a lot better though.
Hey, he's got one Thursday.
Does he still have 2 cameras?
Thursday at noon. Well, we'll see.
Oh my God, dude!
Please stop with the 2 cameras, dude.
Well,
he's
got 2 cameras, and he doesn't even trust his producer when he says he switched cameras. He's like looking over here. He's like, "Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah.
Hey,
he always second guesses him. Yep.
So he's got the guitar. He's got those fancy shirts.
No, he didn't even touch the guitar last time. Thank God.
He learned his lesson.
But he's got the shirt the last time. So this time I'm hoping it's an accordion or better.
Well, Andrew sat down with him, and it kind of, I think, brought some levity to the room or something. I don't know.
He's a calming. Well, Andrew's a calming force. I think when we had him on here, he's a cool dude.
Exactly.
I want to see a group of accordion players and an accordion jam.
So I'm bringing this up now. Like I said, though, my internet gets all gunky when I have Zoom, OBS, and YouTube going. So we'll see. It says video's unavailable.
Damn it. All right, I'm going to play this.
Is that a bad link, Eric?
You guys have to be quiet so that I can turn up my sound over here.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2. Share screen. Share screen. Fucker. Did that work? Can you see my shit?
Yeah, you gotta. If you could minimize the window a little bit or move it over, other people might be able to see.
Am I on camera or is it the video?
The video.
All right, let's go here. Most people like I said, I happen to have X-rays. I happen to have lidocaine ointment. I happen to have spoken to dental students. Other than the others, it should numb the tooth. There it is, right there. It's the gum line has receded quite a bit, like to the point where like the root is becoming exposed, and I think the tooth is rotting and dying. Oh, beautiful.
Well, went blue.
Or is that basically? So, and then here's me actually pulling it out. This will be fun. Oh, you can tell from the way I'm talking now that it's kind of numb on one side. This is wonderful. This fucking rocks. Okay, here goes nothing. It's kind of painful.
What are you using? Dental floss?
I'm just pulling it out with my hand.
Oh.
You have to rip on it for a bit. It's real fun.
You're a savage. I don't know if 3 people need to rebroadcast this, but we're doing it.
What the fuck? Here goes. Here goes. It's going to come out here in a minute.
Oh, I can't watch this, dude.
It's great fun. Just hold on a second. It'll come out here in a minute. I promise.
No, it's not. This is like a 5-minute video.
No, it'll be any second. It only took a couple of minutes.
It only took a couple of minutes.
It felt like fucking
Work it.
forever.
Work it.
Felt like fucking for. Ow. I thought this was funny when I watched it afterwards. Oh shit.
You're a beast. This is disgusting.
Ow.
Who?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
What in the hell? Dude, everybody is laughing over here.
I'm laughing.
Sharon says it's painful to watch. Harvat says I have 0 teeth left. Team Humble, good morning. I don't know who invented time zones, but good morning.
I'm getting the lack of bourbon is disturbing.
Okay. All right.
I just work here.
The crowd is telling us where to go next, I think. And then Team Humble, if you're when you're done brushing your teeth and taking a shower, I can give you the link here. I'll put the link in here to make it easier. You can just copy it and come in. And
all right,
dude, what the heck? I'm disturbed. I don't know if that's a steam first or what.
It needed to happen.
Are you feeling better after it's gone?
Dude, so I had the molar in front of that one. The third one pulled out a year ago Thanksgiving. And then a few months after that, I had this pain with the second molar. So in June, I went to the dental school. They did some x-rays. And I took a video of this too. And in the dental school where the free clinic was, they showed me the x-rays. And the truth is I'm developing a wisdom tooth above it. Okay, so I've got a fully formed wisdom tooth that's probably not going to erupt. They said those don't typically push through the gum at my age. Who the fuck develops a single wisdom tooth at 50-something? Anyway, so that's what was pushing the teeth is out. And so I talked to the dental student. I had the lidocaine that I got from my mother. I had fucking x-rays. When they were looking at the x-rays, I took some shots on my phone. So I had everything I needed. And, I was far ahead of most people just as concerns the available information. I'm like, all that was holding me back for months was the fucking pain. And the pain just got so great. And really, I feel better than I felt in probably 6 months. It's fantastic.
There you
I
go.
have a new lease on life. I feel fantastic. That fucking molar is gone. Goodbye.
Is lidocaine over the counter?
My mom had a prescription for a topical lidocaine. She had some sort of a, I don't recall what it was. Some
All
sort
right.
of injury or something. She was like, "Do you want this lidocaine?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want that lidocaine." And so I used it quite a bit.
Well, ESP Phil from Team Humble's here, so you have to be
Hi, Phil.
quiet.
All right, I'll shut up.
As soon as he gets his mic set up, maybe.
Okay.
Can you
Hi, welcome, Team Humble.
welcome Team Humble? Let me show everybody your Advent Tube videos while you're getting your mic tested.
So I'm going to
And
put
then-
that in a video. The reason I
It's
did
okay.
it is
No
it can be
worries.
informative. I'll shut up.
Just let me.
There aren't a lot of really good videos of people pulling their own molars out there. They all look fake and shit.
This is Steam first. This is Steam first, dude.
They're all faking it, fuckers.
You gotta. So, are you really gonna edit some of that video and do a post?
Absolutely. Dude,
Sweet.
in a couple of weeks, I'm getting to the post. Like I said, I was just starting to make videos and all this work came along. I mean, I got to the point where, fuck it, I formulated this. I understand it. I got to the point where I played around with an editor. Like I mentioned, VidCutter. I figured out, my sort of workflow and the tools that I need. And I had already done the write-ups and things for various segments and chosen topics. So in a couple of weeks, when I get all this work off my back, I'm going to start producing content of some sort.
Awesome.
Yeah, finally.
Good deal.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Hi.
How's anybody at 3 a.m. who's been to bed who gets up for a webcast in the middle of the night? I'm good. I'm doing all right, man.
That's actually very cool of you.
I like how you
morning.
have your clock in the background right over your shoulder.
Right? It's 3:06.
This, yeah, I even made a little. There's a little plug-in on here for the Steam price, although nobody really wants to look at that these days, do they? Really, let's be honest. Yeah,
Hey.
I've been wanting to get on the show for like I don't know, maybe a month or so. I saw it on Vim for a while, and I was like, if I was in the right time zone, I'd jump in and say hi to these guys, because every time I've watched it, I remember you had Johnny on.
Clearwater?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was it. And he did the show on Twitch, and I keep on meaning to get back on there and saying hi, but yeah, I've been wanting to get on for ages. So,
Well, yeah, like I
Hey,
said,
buddy.
we'll have to do one early. We'll have to do a Team Humble, a special steaming pile for Team Humble on like a Saturday or Sunday morning.
That'd be good.
yeah, well,
Your
yeah,
time.
we could do something sometime. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. I'd enjoy that. Yeah. How's everybody doing? How's your evening been? What you been up to? What you been talking about?
Very good. We started off with we usually set the agenda like when everyone comes in, but we haven't even got there yet. We started talking about
cool. Okay.
smoke.io. Have you heard of
Okay.
that?
Yeah. I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then some shows that a couple of us are going to develop on there.
Nice.
And then we had ESP pull his tooth. The video of him pulling his tooth.
He pulled a tooth.
Yeah, that was what was
like
Good
or
times.
was it on its way out, or what? What's that about?
He pulled it out with his hand, just with his hand. Yeah, it was on its way out. I guess it was really hurting him. I mean, maybe you want to tell the story again, ESP, but he pulled it out.
Nah,
He
I'm
showed
done
he
with
showed
it.
he showed the video of him
Get
pulling
that
out
footage.
his
Let's
tooth.
watch it again.
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Whoa! Sean's got like a whole bunch of drink stuff situation going
Yeah,
on it.
he's ready. So, Sean, do I need to in the Zoom window? Okay, if you go in there, and if you know how to toggle now between speaker view and gallery view.
Boom. Done.
Okay, so then now you have speaker view set on yours. So then, as long as you're the one talking, which means everyone else shouldn't, you can go ahead and make your drink.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll do it now. I'll switch to the.
Or did you
special-
just want to sit there and talk with the stuff in front of you for a half hour or so? It's fine with me.
Oh no! I mean, no. It's totally fine. I mean, I'd like to drink it. So
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Drink it. Let's go.
Let's have you make it, and then we're going to go through and talk about Team Humble and Phil's work and Advent too.
Does it have to be Kirkland maple syrup, or will any maple syrup do?
That's actually an interesting point. I don't think so. This is some pretty good fucking maple syrup. So
I love real maple syrup, but don't.
Yeah,
use
I thought about-
fake
you
syrup.
can use the fake stuff, but it's just not quite the same.
You're the man.
Let me see here real quick. Let me throw in. I missed one important detail on my scene, and that is my mic. So that is fixed now. Always important.
And then for the Zoom participants, just so you know, Sean, it does want to record, and he wants it to be pretty good. You can comment for sure, but it only keeps video of the person who's speaking. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. It trips me out though, because when I'm talking, I don't necessarily see it switching on Zoom. So that's weird. But nonetheless, I think it'll be fine. I can always do.
I don't see what other people are seeing. None of us. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week, something I did shaker last week. So this time, keeping with the fall holiday season, I wanted to do a maple old fashioned, which is pretty easy. It was an ounce of maple syrup. On D-Taste, I got them to just add ounces. So that's nice. Because my last one, I had to do it in 1.5 tablespoons or something. So that was nice of them. Couple Angostura bitter drops. This is nice for all sorts of cocktails. Now, it didn't use Knob Creek, but I'm a big fan, and I just bought it, so I wanted a reason to bust it open. If I can live on air, that probably wasn't the best idea.
No,
nope. Actually, it's gonna. No, it's fine. It's fine, John. They always gotta put all that wax shit on. All right, so a couple jiggers of this. 2 big ones. And then, of course, you can, if you've got regular ice, but I like to use big ice. Splash it around a little bit. If you got the right size glass, it rotates very nicely in there. And there you go, maple old fashioned. Let's see how sweet the maple is. Obviously, that's, you can add a little more if you like it a little sweeter. So, well, that's strong as shit.
Right.
That's how I like them.
I wish I had one of those the other night when I pulled that fucking tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would have been the first stop for sure.
How do you get those huge ass ice cubes?
I buy them. This is these things right here.
That's Knob Creek whiskey, Harvat. You buy them.
Knob
Dude,
Creek whiskey
you never cease to amaze me, man. You're like a connoisseur. You always have some fancy shit to do some fancy stuff.
What brand is that big ball of ice maker thingy?
Let's see. It is Tovolo, Tovolo.
My brother has some of those, Tovolo. Gotcha.
They're badass. Really, same brand?
No, well, he has big round ice cube maker thingies.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few of these. They're very cool.
How long does one of those last?
Like, how long does it stay without melting?
Yeah, I'm assuming that you can make big ice balls so that you don't have to keep getting ice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point.
So it'll last a couple hours.
And since it's a bigger piece, at least twice as long as like a regular set of ice cubes.
Sharon says, as a Canadian, I approve this drink. Harvat says he has some real stuff from New Hampshire.
Oh, all right.
So take that.
Right on.
So, yeah. Thanks again, guys, for sitting through another one. I'm going to try and post them on D-Taste the week before. This one didn't happen, but, so that way if people want, they can make them at home as well. So
did you nail it? How's the sweetness of the syrup? How's the bitters? Did you get that just right? How is it?
Well, the bitters are always good because, you're not supposed to be able to taste them, right? It's supposed to just be back there a little bit.
Right. Gives it a bit of an
edge. If I mix it a bit more, maybe I'll pick up more of the maple. But actually, I'm surprised that I'm not picking up a lot of the maple from it.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not because I got something, brown sugar bourbon, which is super disgustingly sweet. Like you have to make it in drinks or it's
okay.
I was hoping it'd be somewhere in between. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the sugars kind of settling on the bottom. So maybe it'll get a little sweet as you get down there a little more. But that I got a little more maple in that drink. So I think as you finish the drink, I'm a big fan of shaken drinks. So maybe if you shook it, it'd be better, incorporated. But old fashions, you stir
Is
a lot.
that Harfat wants to know if it's bourbon or rye or what kind of whiskey?
I believe it's rye. Straight bourbon. Boom, 100 proof.
And when I
100
ask,
proof. Oh, you should be fun in an hour.
when I ask these questions, I'm asking sincerely just because I'm kind of envious. I'm like, what the hell's that taste like? But then on the other hand, as I ask this question, it occurs to me that there are people that do food blogs or vlogs on like YouTube. One example, what's his name? Mark Wines, I think is his name. And that seems to be like a major part of each segment is them making smiles and talking about how good it tastes and all kind, commenting on the flavor, things like that. I think people just naturally are looking for something like that because every time I watch that, I'm like, what makes that guy a professional food eater? But again, the descriptive part of it seems to be important. That's why I'm talking about that.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Yeah, for sure.
Aren't they working on smell TV technology?
Can't wait.
Bacon. I don't know. Is that true? Or was that a joke?
It's a joke.
I'm intrigued now. I was like, shit,
I'm sure
I'll sign up for the bacon channel.
It's an R&D. It's an R&D somewhere.
Yep, exactly. Someone's throwing money at it.
Well, let's meet Phil. So in case he needs to fall asleep and take a nap before he wakes up
I'm
for
good,
his.
I'm good. I'm up now. I'm not gonna go to sleep now. That's it.
You're just gonna go right into frame.io and get to work.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it's gonna be.
So I think you've been on here for longer than any of us. So maybe a little bit of your backstory or how you got here, and then we'll get to Advent Tube, or you get there, meander through there, and
all right,
end there.
All right. Well, like most people who have a computer, I've been on here it feels like forever, since the beginning of time. When you were talking about the ice balls, I wondered if you got them from Hoth or not, because they just looked a bit Star Wars invented. No, I started on the blockchain 2 years ago, and I was introduced to it by a guy called Lloyd Davis, who I've known through social media channels for over a decade. So it's a relationship that has moved through different social media platforms. I met him at an event in London, very, very early days of social media, when people were just like, hey, I can do video and I can put it on the internet. And, I don't have to, it was really hard to put video on the internet in the beginning days. I don't know if anybody remembers Real Producer from Real Networks. It was the only way to actually put video on the internet.
I remember.
When I started doing video, it was a year before YouTube was invented.
Right.
That's how far back I was. YouTube was invented in 2005, and we were doing video blogging in 2004, and we had nowhere to host it. There was a website called blip.tv. And so I met this guy, Lloyd Davis, through that. And then 10 years later, still knowing him through, 6 or 7 different video hosts, Lloyd sent me a message one day because I'd kind of given up on social media. I don't know if other people in the room have done this, but after about 3 or 4 years of the social media, it was just this is bullshit. This is not social at all.
Right.
This is not doing me any favors. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just I'm on my computer all day, clicking on shit. I'm bored to death of this. This is not what I thought it was going to be. So I'd pretty much given up on social media, and Lloyd, out of nowhere, sent me an email because, we're friends, and he was checking up on me and see how I was. He knew I had some mental health, anxiety, depression stuff that, real world, real life stuff I was going through. In 2014, I lost my house, my relationship, my job, all in the space of 1 month. I went from 40,000 a year down to zero. I had to rebuild since then. And now it's 2018. So that's a pretty good refresh of 3 fucking a.m. in the morning to recall that shit. What else can I tell you? Is that good enough or what? Where are we at?
Yeah. No, that's
great.
fine. That's fine. so so you're in now, right? And then you had this idea. You've done a couple in the, but you have like it also like you do a lot of like classes and have a ton like
Yeah,
just a library of
yeah,
videos and great resources on your page and stuff out there connecting people to Steam, but also the broader collaboration piece is what really intrigued me and excited me
mm,
to do some work with you, is that you really see that team collaboration and team co-creation type stuff very similar to the way that I see it. And so I came across one of your other two videos where you interviewed or you had other Steam members do the same thing that you're doing now with AdventTube, and that's getting the stuff to you, and then you kind of put together clips of
right,
other Steamians.
right. Well, you see, one of the parts of leaving social media was that I could never understand why YouTube wasn't collaborative. Like, okay, YouTube, you've done a good job, you've got hosting, yada yada. You know, Google come along and buy the damn thing because they can afford it, but it never moved past, you know, this notion of celebrities, right? Like these people with big channels. Like there's a 7-year-old kid making 22 million a year there now, and that's great for the 7-year-old. I just hope his parents look after him, that he doesn't turn into a complete nutcase in the next 3 or 4 years. But my big point is that they had the perfect opportunity to build a collaborative platform, right? Imagine waking up in the morning and having a job request on YouTube from somebody, I don't know, Vancouver, Portland, Washington with Sean. And it was like, hey, I need a such and such part for my video, like a person in the street. And, you know, I'm willing to pay you a little bit of money or a little bit of, you know, money on the blockchain for that little video. And then YouTube does all the stitching in the background. And you end up with this amazing video piece with like 5 or 6 parts to it. And, you know, you can start making documentaries. You can go to like school level where kids actually get some value out of YouTube rather than just watching this brain numbing shit that they watch now. So no collaboration tool really exists. And for years I've been like, look, vlogging is incredibly powerful. We don't touch the surface of it really. Like we skirt around the edges of it, but we don't get the most from it, right? And to get really set up to do a documentary, there's money, there's kit, there's microphones, and all I've watched for the last 10 years is people just talking about what kit they've got, right? And then you just alienate everybody, right? Because then it's like who's got the best lens, who's got the best kit, and then the fucking story disappears. You don't get the story, you don't get the content. So collaboration is so enriching for everybody involved. I think you two guys would agree in the last 4 days you can feel like a connection with the other people in the group that you might not have had before.
Absolutely. It's been see, Sean started doing vlogging, I would say probably 2 months ago or something like that, and I watched a couple of them, and I had never really done it or even thought about doing it. And then when I saw your request, where it was just simple request, it was like, hey, right away, got an idea. This is what I want to do. I need 8 people. Sign up and let's go. And
Right.
I was like, this sounds really cool. And really, it was what you said about collaboration, and I had a sense of what you were going to do, and I really like it. I look forward to doing it each day. I appreciate that you do the editing.
Yeah,
It's not.
no,
It's
you're
not.
here.
You know, it's not anything that I like to. I mean, I can edit when I need to
Yeah,
in a
you just
pinch.
hit the nail on the head. You just hit the nail on the head, right? Why frustrate yourself with the stuff that you don't like to do? Like for me, it's kind of native with my day.
Hmm.
Like I'm a super like focused guy when it comes to my work. I enjoy my work. Like it's a hobby. After all, I'm like 45 now, and I've been doing it for half of my life, and now it's not work, right? I get up, I do the stuff that I enjoy to do every single day, and so, you know, the takeaway for me is that I wanted to find a way to make it super fast so you could record it and find a video host that was reliable, that had the features that framed us. I was going to build all of that myself, and that would have took years. And it's not my strong suit, right? So you find the things that you're good at. I'm not the best editor in the world. I'm not professing to be, but like I could do a pretty good jump cut. So like the content that comes through when people like push stuff through, that's so exciting for me every day when I go into the folder and it's like 6 or 7 pieces of, because then I know people have gone out their way to do it. I can feel the momentum behind it. You know, everybody brings their own opinions to it. They're like, oh, I've got to do my bit. You know, I want it to fit in the rest of it. And it inspires people. It inspires people to like be motivated. I know you use it as a motivation tool to keep you on track for the rest of the month. And I think that's 2 major things that the internet misses is really good collaboration tools and really good accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What did you think about the video where there was a guy who was kind of like hanging out his window and you could see the street below? Do you remember editing that video at all?
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I remember that video.
He looked
The guy
almost
was asking-
suicidal.
Yeah, I think the guy was asking for money. I felt pity for him.
He's always trying to
That's
one
fair.
up people in their backgrounds, so you get into that, I think, a little bit.
No, yes, yeah, that's
You're in
interesting.
Thailand.
That's it. That's interesting though. For me, I didn't. That's interesting because I don't process when I'm watching all the clips. I don't process. I have the usual human reactions to things. You know, like I can't believe. You know, I don't think like that or whatever. But my biggest takeaway from the collaboration part is that it sparks and makes me question why I think that way. And we're moving into a world, right, where everything is going to be fucking automated and AI, and we're not going to know human beings from robots, right? So this, for me, is important that we have some human network between us, like a node network between us, which has some correlation to human beings, because, you know, like without that, the internet is just going to be so bland. Let me tell you.
No, for sure, and it does. It like you says, it creates a sense of community. I give Sean shit all the time. He knows I don't mean any of it. He knows really it's just my own inner jealousy around not being able to hang out the window and have a nice street behind me. So it's also cold as hell. It's cold as hell out here, so I can't go outside.
Yeah, there was the guy from Thailand as well with what sounded like a monkey that had been just told that Bitcoin's at 2,000.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right,
that's a good point.
Go ahead, Sean.
I just, you know, I just was gonna, second your sentiments about, how I enjoy the whole project, and I definitely have gotten on that sort of kick where it was like, at first it was like, okay, let's do different backgrounds and stuff, but as Phil was putting, Team Humble was putting, just the idea that let's focus on content and audio, and today's, for instance, I found a quiet but still cool background, so I'm getting there,
I was mad. My fan.
Yeah, I think you go with. Go on, John. Sorry.
No, you go.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like, for instance, my partner Dale, she doesn't video blog, and also the other guy that I've just met, Liam, who's got mental health issues. Like, normally you would never approach those things, right? You would never you would never give people a platform. Mental health. I can't take that on. I've got too much going on in my own life. I can't deal with that. I think social media and video and collaboration and all these kind of tools has a way of like flattening and evening out the kind of like playing field in terms of where you are in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I like to see people set up their shot. I like to see people like do their film bit and their audio bit and whatever, because that shows me that there's a passion in that. There's like, they've thought about it. I know what process you're going through when you're like, right, I've got to get my shit together. I've got to do my video. I've got to get my audio right. Like, there's a process, right? And and I think it's an activator at the same time, right? It's too easy to be apathetic and just live life, or exist life, should I say. You got to live it. And so video for me has always been an activator. It's always woke me up to things. I was just this, small town kid who had a video camera that I bought for a project for when I started doing video first on the web. And I had clients saying, hey, we want to put video on the web. And I'm like, why? Nobody else is. And it costs a lot of money. And I bought a video camera for the job, and it used to sit on my sideboard collecting dust. And one day, I don't know why, but one day I did a search, like things to do with video camera and yada, yada. I went on a deep dive through Google, and I found this definition called citizen journalist, right? And I was like, what the fuck is a citizen journalist?
That's right.
So I dug deeper, and I found this group, which is the Yahoo video blogger group, and like 100-strong group. And I met these people like 2004, communicated back and forth when we were still talking about all the stuff I was talking about earlier with codecs, and which is the best one to use for QuickTime. And, you know, like that was the reason when I changed from Windows to a Mac, because video on the Windows machine like XP was a nightmare. It would crash all the time. And so I learned a lot from like remote editors from around the world, and then started doing video blogging because I wanted to learn the tools. I wanted to learn how to do encoding and stuff, and ended up collaborating with another group of people called Node 101. And Node 101 in 2006, we made this video in our basements all around the world as if it was the end of the world, and we'd all gone through this like black hole, and we were just surviving like out of a garage. And we won an award. And I got flown to San Francisco to get this award at the thing called the Vloggies. And that was it then. I was a small town kid, just thrown into this like big pool. Like it was like, oh, okay, so there's a wider world out there. So video is a connector, right? It connects you with people that you would probably like never talk to in the street, I guess. Yeah.
I like that. I tend to agree with that as well. So AdventTube, you found a cool app, and you just invited a bunch of people, and that's working out well. And you're going to do 31 of these, counting down through December.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What's
sir,
wrong with you?
So can I ask you the specific blog entry on your Steam It channel where you announce this and where you talk a little bit more about that?
About AdventTube, yeah. If you go to my latest blog, you'll find day 4, and there's day 1, 2, 3, 4 listed in there, so you can get to the starting block.
Right on.
But the reason why I did 31 days is last year, believe it or not, like a nutcase, I did 31 20-minute, 30-minute courses. I did one each day on Skillshare, right? As an advent calendar, because I thought it would be fun, and I thought I'm just going to put these out and see if like they go somewhere. Look, part of the reason is like I want to play with the tools. It keeps the momentum for me. I enjoy what I do. Like, how many days you wake up and you're like you have like 20 tabs open? You're like, I love all of this stuff, but I don't know which bit to concentrate on. Like, I want to play with all of it, right? I want to inform myself, or I want to educate myself. And I got to the point where I was like, well, I could put these little things on Skillshare, and like the minutes watched equals minutes that I earn. And it ended up being a really good residual for me, right? So on the 16th of every month, I did those 20-minute courses, one every day, and I ended up with like $400, $500 on the 16th of January. At the beginning of the year, we all need a bit of money, right? After Christmas and family and everything else. And it was a complete residual. Like, I did all the work in November. So I recorded all the courses in November, and then I gradually slow released them in December, advertised them on Twitter. And then this year I was like, I can't do that. This year I've got my partner coming over in January, early January. But what else could I do? I was like, well, maybe I'll do a little collaboration piece. And I've been wanting to build an app for ages. We're all panicking about Steam disappearing. I wanted to build a Steam app in the last couple of years. There's actually 3 apps that I've got that I want to build, which I'll tell you about quickly if you want me to tell you about them. And my biggest thing was, how was I going to build the back end for storing the videos? Because I had a plan of how I was going to do it, but YouTube doesn't do it, and all these others don't do it. So I found Frame from putting that up on Steam Hunt, which is one of the places where I'm a mod. I do all the modding at Steam Hunt as well in my day. And it's perfect, right? It's as if you were a remote editor. You can send the videos in, then an editor actually cuts them together. It's an on-location thing. So you shoot a load of B-roll B-roll, basically like a second scene, if you like, instead of the main scene. And then editors pull that down and then they edit that together. So as far as reliability and hosting, Frame.io is absolutely perfect. But the next big stage in January, February, March time is to build an MVP, a minimal viable product, like a front end to that. So Frame is just a storage. My idea is that I want to build, well, we'll get into it. I want to leave a little bit of intrigue for it. We'll do it in January. We'll get into it.
Sure.
I'm
hell yeah.
intrigued.
Love it.
Perfect.
Love it. Love it.
So it's a front end for Frame.io so far. That's the scratching the surface.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I've got 3 apps. I've got 3 apps that I want to build. One is
No
I've
rush.
actually all got names as well, but one's for legacy. So one of the things that we don't talk about and we don't explore right now is that we have this amazing blockchain, and what happens to the content on the blockchain, right? We've had this problem for Twitter and Facebook and all our social media accounts. What if, like, we die today? How do our family members get to our content, right? We
The
have
archive, the
we have
back
no
catalog.
archive or connection. I still see people tweeting on my timeline who've passed away, friends who've passed away, who have automatic, like, Twitter things just still posting, and every time I see their face and their avatar, it's like, oh my god, like, it brings it back all the time. So I've been thinking about legacy. In terms of backing up all our posts from the blockchain and storing that somewhere. And at some point I want to work with like a legal team or a solicitor to be able to build a system to back up the tweets, back up the posts, because most of it's text. Obviously the video would be difficult because the video links depending on where they go to, but to be able to have an archive. So that's one part, which has a name, which I'm not going to tell you because somebody will go and steal the domain. And then the middle one, the middle one is
Patrick.
basic income. The middle one is basic income, which is like using
my
Steem
favorite thing.
for basic income. And then the third one is the one we're talking about now, which is like a front end for vloggers to do what we're doing with AdventTube, but you can do your own, right? That's the obvious way of going. And you can join ones as well. Imagine going into an app and there's like 10 graphics and there's lots of different projects all around the world, voluntary places, charities, like, or, I want to do a project and I need 10 people's opinion about, Burmese tigers, and I have a budget of $20, and you put it in, you put the job in, and then people like join it, and then Frame just use the back end for that. I want people who are technically, well, not even technically savvy, because we can train them as well, right? You can just have a template in there for how do I use this thing, and have 10 people. I just want to get people from creators into making an income, but then also brands to be able to come in and say, we have a budget of like $1,000 and we need 100 opinions from people about our product, our brand, our device. And they just get a succinct video, like an hour-long video with all these people in it, that they can sit around their boardroom and really know what people think about their product. Yeah, they can go on YouTube and they can dig around all that, but why do that? Why not package that? And nobody's done it, so I want to do it.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that like that, I've thought about like play reading. Like people can either practice their lines or they can co-create a play live,
Right.
doing it that
Yeah.
way. People can do all sorts of like stuff.
Acting.
We've thought about
But it
writing
needs
the
a-
script
but it-
for
but
a
it-
wrestling show live on the air.
Yeah, I mean it's a
It
great
needs
way
a social
to source it.
layer, right? It needs a social layer, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, is that you're not just going to jump into a group because you're going to be worried about all the things that I was saying earlier on, because that's where video is on the web. It's like, what camera you got, what mic you got, and that gets in the way of the process, right? So building out 31 days is like, all right, we have this social blockchain. We're kind of ahead of the curve, like in terms of using blockchain compared to like centralized platforms. And then, like, if we ended up with 100 people in this advent calendar, I'm going to increase it to 25 users this Friday. I don't know if we'll suddenly have an influx of people who decide to join into it, but my idea is that if we have this 100 strong group of people, that they can go off and create their own mini like groups within that to be able to be like, hey, I'm interested in this, or like Sean does his drink stuff, or John does his live streaming, or I'm sorry, Eric and TJ, I don't know, ESP, I don't know what you guys do yet, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go off and you can
You
do
can
your
pull
own
your
adventure.
teeth.
You can go
If you can get everyone
you
get
can
a
do
group
whole
to pull in
31
their.
days of pulling, sure.
Probably not going to happen, John.
It's also an easy. Like I think the other idea I had was like you could also do create a documentary that way, using that way is like if you have a
Right.
question, it's easy
Yeah.
documentary making.
I mean, you could literally go down. I mean, because of Frame.io and you've got like the writing, you could storyboard a bunch of it and say, here's the videos that I need. I need a woman walking down the street in New York City. You know, like ideally, it's like it's an active area where there's taxi cabs, and you know, you could.
I could get that very easy. I live there.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, you know, this, but again, some people want that. But you know what? It costs, if you wanted to download a video clip like that, you go to one of these sites where they say it's royalty free and you end up having to step through and they want $75 for like a, you know, 2-minute 4K clip of the thing. There is people making coin out there from these, you know, the helicopter tour things. They're going up with a cameraman shooting all this footage and they've got a residual. So I think we can tap into that as well and feed video bloggers. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of paying like $80 for a 2-minute clip from a 4K, like already paid for helicopter.
Whoa.
There's in-time clips, you know?
Just keep building it. Here's the interesting thing. This is what I like to see. I see the wheels turning, kind of like when Sean came back from seeing Andreas Antonopoulos, and you know, further down the rabbit. I see the wheels turning there, but I got to be honest with you, my friend. My guess is all the thought that you've given this. I mean, it's clear to me that you're collaboration. You're passionate about this. Video has a place. You're trying to devise an innovative platform over there. Plus the fact, once you get to all that stuff, you start considering the dynamics of collaboration. And here's the interesting thing is that you've given this so much thought without a serious team humble brain dump at this point, like half the day, we're still just kind of cluing into what it is that you have in mind. So build and make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm like Nemo fish, right? I see, like I was saying earlier on, I see so many things that I want to take part of that I know I could have impact in. You know, I'm naturally kind of a leader in that kind of area of like, I know this technology, I know how this works, I know where it's going. I also know that we do have a global situation, not just with Steem in terms of like power and decentralization and, you know, food shortages. They all impact each other, right? And the biggest thing that we're going to need is to have a connection with each other, like you guys are doing this with like the show, like jumping in and doing a show every week, connecting with your fellow friends, men and women combined. Like, I just want to build something that flattens the playing field, you know, because there's a huge problem that, you know, the balance of it is all off kilter, right? Like the people that we always hear it, you know, the 1% have got the most money and they're making more money. We have an opportunity now that we've gone from centralized to decentralized to build things in the way that we've always wanted to work, in the way that works where we're at in our lives, with our mental health, our anxiety, our age. Like, I can't go to a job in a startup in New York City at 45 years of age with a load of 25-year-olds who are brand advocates and influencers and be like, hey, I've been doing video for 20 years on the internet, I can help you. They're like, you're not you're not wearing the right clothes. I'm sorry, you know.
I can't even eat a big meal without falling asleep.
Yeah, because your teeth keep falling out, so that's obvious, isn't it?
There we go.
Fitting right in.
I gotta take a break. I'll be back. You guys are horrible.
So
He's
I'm
going to get some burn cream.
So go ahead,
I
Aaron.
do have somebody in the chat asking if you need help with this project.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I'm at this point right now. This month is going to be purely to test the infrastructure of the hosting, right? Because, you know, services say they're going to do something, and sometimes they don't work as you expect them to do. So far, in 4 days in, the uploading seems all right. seems reliable, everything. DTube's great, but it's not good for a collaboration platform. I feel like, and I'll get to the reason why I think that. Like, to get clips in where anybody is in the world, they need to be able to do what they're natively be doing with their phone, right? To be able to record, be able to upload. So unfortunately, for the background process of editing, it has to be centralized right now. IPFS is not going to be fast enough, is not mature enough to be able to do collaboration and be able to pull all those things down in a reliable manner. The best thing about DTube and IPFS is being able to take what you've edited and put it on there, and then potentially beat DTube or any other platform that has any kind of tokenization in there. You make some funds from the effort of putting the things together. Now, at the minute, I'm paying for the hosting for Frame.io, and I don't mind paying that because it's kind of my baby. So 31 days is just to see how reliable the platform is. And then obviously January, February, March time, I'm going to make the front end design in a thing called Framer X. So I'm going to design it as like an iPhone app front end, which produces React native code. And then I'm going to be looking for developers, team members. Like, I don't want to run it as a business. That's where things started to get like murky for me. That's where you start to lose things. I want it to pay for itself and I want it to make money, but I also want it to be that anybody can build their own kind of AdventTube. You can wake up at the first of a month and be like, damn, I really need to learn this tool this month and I want to step through it. I'm going to make a project. I'm going to bring 5 or 10 other people on and we're going to be accountable to each other each day with video, and it will be part of your process. You'll be just doing what you're doing your coding, then you record your video, then you upload it to the Frame thing for your own project. And then you can put that out on a decentralized network, and then you're accountable, and then you're also showing off like what you've been working on as a group. And I think
so
that
like a drag and drop type thing, or
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
You basically cut the video, and then you go into the app, hit the add button. Well, you have to rename it. I usually rename it first. Rename it, go into the app, upload it, and really that's it.
But it's easy, right?
It's
easy, right? Yeah. And that's the point. Easy. It's got to be easy, otherwise people just won't get involved with it. And from my perspective as well, like other people who do have, like Liam's got mental health problems. You can see he wants to get out of that. He wants to change. That inspires me so much. Like on day 4, day after day after day, that he keeps coming back and he's like, I feel more confident. Like, we don't know what change you cause by just being there for somebody, and yet we're not in his life, but we're in his life, so there's a huge power there for me. And I want to change the way that influencers work right now, because we got people like influencing and talking about products that they know absolutely jack shit about, and brands are spending gobs of money at hype, throwing money at hype to 100 like popular influencers who might not necessarily help the R&D, the research and development of that product, to make it a better product in a short space of time. If we just got 100 people just gushing that, oh yeah, this microphone's amazing, and here's the unboxing, it's like, yeah, but what does it sound like? Like there's things that frustrate me, being a 45-year-old grumpy man, that I think we can all collaboratively change in some way.
So I'm going to play the beginning of one. Hopefully DTube and my computer will
real quick, may I, John? I have a question
the
chat. Does he want the tools of sharing the videos to be seamless as far as working within the website, as in people being allowed to work in a project like Hub? Maybe you understood that a little bit more than I did.
Say one more time, Eric.
Yeah. Does he want the tools of sharing the videos to be seamless as far as working within the website, as in people being allowed to work in a project like Hub? Not 100% clear on that.
Right. So the way it is right now is that I've set up a project in Frame.io for AdventTube, and we have 31 folders in there, 31 days. I put a little video in each one as a question, and then people reply. This is just to test the hosting, right? When I get to January, February, March time, I need to step through and storyboard every page of the app of what it's going to do. And at the moment in my head, I've got a crossover between video blogging in general, so like YouTube and DTube, and then also this collaborative part as well. So I think it's going to branch off into being like 2 or 3 different things. And the front end of the app you'll dictate what kind of thing you want to do today. Do I want to put a video into this project? Do I want to put something onto YouTube? Do I want to work on a collaborative project? Or am I a brand and do I want to submit a project and I have a budget? So everything's up in the air at the minute. I'm literally using this month to just make sure that the infrastructure, frame.io, is solid so that I can use that via an API and just pull and push files into there as and when, basically. So it's not fully fleshed out yet, and it could end up forking into two or three different things. But the main thing is that I want to build a safe, reliable, collaborative space where you can launch a project. You can then take ownership of the hosting of that, distribute the price of that between all the people involved, or just pay for it yourself. And then people collaborate into that project. So it needs fleshing out. It completely needs fleshing out. I totally understand that. But at the moment, I just need to make sure that the host can deal with, like, I really want to test their system. They say they can have 100,000 unlimited people. Let's see. I want to see if it works like that.
Cool. So here's what we've been doing with AdventTube. So you guys can see, and I'm sharing on my screen here. You guys meaning the people that are live in Zoom, and people that are watching on my screen. You guys can see the blog post from today, and you see today's question was: you're given powers for 48 hours. What are they, and what do you do with them? But then you can also see he has links to the other days, and each day has a question. Who are you today? Value, what is it to you? What's your biggest achievement to date? And then it shows you the people that took part, lists the people that took part, and then the video is always uploaded. And so Phil just kind of puts those together into a video of people's responses for those individual questions. So I'm going to play this. If it plays, we'll watch a little bit of it. If it doesn't, which it's waiting for right now, so I don't know if it's going. There we go.
So it's another day and another question. Now this is quite interesting. It's a fun question to answer, actually. So the question for the day is, if you had any sort of power, I mean, you could choose a power here, any sort of power for 48 hours, what would it be, and what would you do, and what would your intentions be behind the scene?
My powers would be to change hearts, and of course that's a bit hyperbolic maybe. What I really mean is being able to change minds, make people have compassion. Some of us, just through human nature, I believe, we grew up in these tribal societies, so maybe it comes naturally to some of us to be weary of others, and when there's a lack of education and compassion, that can lead to bad and terrible things, as we see around the world in different conflicts.
It reminds me of a rap lyric, a part of a rap lyric from Eminem. If I could only use my powers for good, I wouldn't. And I think that I was struggling with how to say that, because I don't know how I would respond. Honestly, it sounds like a lot of responsibility to be given an extra power. But then the word superpower isn't in there either. So if you're just given powers...
Well, I would choose to have the power of healing, but I would use the power of healing mainly to go around the world and healing people's minds, people who are suffering with mental health issues. It kind of sounds like I'm going along this whole mental health theme, and I suppose because it's a big part of my life at the moment, I am kind of focused on that. But in general, I'm quite a caring person, and there's a lot of people who are suffering with mental health issues. I think only until recently I've only started to realise how many people are suffering with it. I would love to be able to go around the whole world, seeing as many different people as I can, and just healing their minds, and then just pushing them to be able to live their life.
If I was given this question about 10 years ago, or even more even, I'd be like, powers of, super strength, ability to fly, breathe underwater for a long time, and all these kind of silly things. But
145. Bosh!
We'll pause there. So there you go. That gives you guys a little taste. Bosh! And gives you guys a little taste of what the videos are. Sorry if it got a little laggy with Zoom and D2 and OBS and my shit-ass internet and my little laptop. That's what you get. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share as well and go back to regular cameras.
There you go.
So any reactions in the chat room that you guys have, go ahead and bring those in there. And how far are you with the questions, Phil? Like, how many do you have filled in? Or, like, because I thought maybe we can use some time today to brainstorm a couple or see if there were some questions within this group that that we would want to get into AdventTube for the month.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just put them in the comments of any of those videos, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just put them in the literally in the comments, like a question to ask for the rest of the month. I have 2 weeks done. I was gonna do 7 days, but then I realized once we get moving, it might be. I didn't know if like the editing would get in the way or like animation or my client work and stuff. So I did 14 days of questions. And then obviously I want everybody else to like come up with their own questions to ask. I think as the group matures a little bit, and also I think we'll see things change because the 7 or 8 people who've kind of bonded in the last 4 days, by the time we get to like Friday, there's going to be that feeling of like, who are these people? Like, and do they care about me? And do they understand my story? And
We're
did
gonna
they
be like,
watch the other one?
oh, that's just a week 2 blogger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you weren't there on day 1. You're not a 120 specification mage. Yeah, so like, we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, the big thing, the big takeaway for me is that, you know, the fact that people are turning up every single day, the fact that I can see it in people's faces each day how much people are enjoying it. That's everything. Like that is literally everything. Like forget upvotes, forget like payouts. At the end of the day, we move every day is delicate on planet Earth, right? So like I want to go out knowing human beings, not talk to flashing lights in the data center. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at with this.
Cool. So if
yeah,
you guys...
questions away, loads of questions. I've done 14 days of questions, but you know, we've got like today 31, so we've got like 15, 16 questions available for people to submit. So
yeah, so go to Team Humble, find a post, submit a question, or send them to Sean or myself, or put them in chat right here, and they'll get recorded as part of the broadcast.
Yeah.
Or
awesome.
Eric's. Or Sean's. We're all simulcasting on our own different channels live. And Eric, are you simulcasting everywhere?
Yeah, we're on Vim, DLive, Twitch, Mixer, and Stream.me.
Wait, nobody told me we're on DLive. I might have to leave. Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah, Eric comes in. He's always on DLive. He's collecting Lino beans.
He's on
Did you get a...
Come on, let's call it the right name. It's CLI.
Those guys have big hearts over there at DLive.
Big hearts didn't pay bills, man.
You know, I was actually going to bring it up, but that's a good segue. They donated. PewDiePie was doing a charity stream, and Kent donated $5,000 in the name of his name and DLive, and PewDiePie, you know, mentioned DLive, Googled it real quick, and said something about it. So
there you go.
Yeah,
that happened.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think people who've been on YouTube for like 10 years, like these big channels, don't get me wrong, I think they bring a lot of value to a group of people who don't want to make content, who don't want to spend time on it, and actually just want to consume content. I got nothing against some of these big YouTubers that made a name for themselves, that made money from it. The problem is that a lot of them don't realize in 2019, in January, they're about to have a world of pain in the EU, maybe not in the States like PewDiePie, wherever he is, but in the EU, they're about to get hit with Article 13. And Article 13 in the EU is going to restrict what they can do, what they can put out. And so in some ways, that's kind of what I'm thinking about with these decentralized networks. Well, you know, it's
that's like the copyright law, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But at some point, they're going to put that lens onto blockchains as well. So we've got to make the connections while we can make them, and we've got to know who each people are, and then we can take that down a level. We can go darknet or wherever we want to go, mesh networks. But Yeah, I feel
fuck that lens.
I feel that suppression. I feel that suppression, son. Oh my god, you got muted on the screen. I dig that. It looks like some kind of VHS video thing.
ESP's got some cool stuff going on with his Zoom that I don't even know how to do. Like he puts up random pictures and text up there, and it's cool.
It's a third-party application. The most popular one is Minicam, and this one is called Webcam Max. It's just cheap-ass effects in real time.
Eric, can I ask a question from Eric about DLive and Lino and all that stuff now? Like,
yeah, if I can answer it.
Yeah, were you on DLive before, like the original version?
Yeah, I've been on since January.
Yeah, we all were.
Right. Yeah. So what's the biggest differences to you? Does it feel like anything's changed? I know that you got these Lino coins or whatever now. How does it feel on there now? Now it's like bedded in a little bit.
There, obviously the big difference is the fact that you're not linked by a blog post, so that changes the community dynamic a little bit. You know, whereas some content creators post other content than just their streams. This leads to a very seemingly gaming-heavy community, more so than when it was with Steem. And that's just my knee-jerk reaction. You know, Maggie Fine Arts is still there doing artwork, beautiful artwork, and it's pretty popular. But for the most part, it's gaming, so there's not a whole lot of attention for non-gaming.
And it was like that, like when they first set up their new logo. Like you could see people in the comment section. If you actually pull up that post, this looks like it's like a huge middle finger to everyone that's not a gamer. Like,
I didn't really sense that, but I mean, obviously that's where the money is. So, oh, Sean's muted.
Oh, come on.
Rookie move. Everyone on my stream was hearing me. I was saying that when they were leaving, they were actually really pushing for people to create non-gaming. Like they were hoping to bring that along with. Like so in that way, I mean, I was pretty new, so even though we were using it like a couple weeks before, I won like 2-3 contests in a row for their, you know, live streaming vlogging stuff.
Yeah.
And then they left and they were like, "Oh, we'll give you some, you know, Lino if you come with." And so I kind of was like, "Oh, I see what you were doing. I get why it was like that." And
maybe
trying to sweeten you up a little bit.
Well, I'm disappointed to hear that it's not non-gaming stuff's not doing good over there, because if I would have the opposite, maybe I'd be like, "Oh shit, I should maybe restream to there," because I'm on Caster tonight, going to stream for my to Twitch for my first time. So you know, I'm looking into trying to do it, but I mean, if there's not a or maybe I need to go there to build the community.
I just see it as it's a really different dynamic not having the blogs attached. So you're not getting. Yeah, I'm hesitant to say you're not getting the complete content creator, but when connected to the Steeming community, there is definitely that aspect of they're all around content creators. They're not just streamers, and with the way it is now, it's definitely the focus. It's definitely what you're seeing is just the streaming, and it's not so much of the. You know, some people are pulling that off for the full content creation, but
that makes sense.
You can't upload videos right now. There's VODs, but you can't upload videos. Right. I'm sure that was a huge expense.
And I can't doing it. I can't help but harken back to the talk we had about Ned's first vlog. Was the one about 2 vlogs back where he was playing the guitar, and we mentioned jiu-jitsu at the time because coincidentally he showed up, and the jiu-jitsu of business. You know, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me what you just pointed out, Sean Sporter. You know, we'd like to get away from the gaming, put more emphasis on this, and yet since these crucial changes they've made, the moves they've made in the business world, it seems to have affected the opposite sort of
well, maybe there was just spaghetti on the wall, you know, they were throwing it. They saw if it would stick. They didn't see a lot of people come over that were non-gamers. They're not seeing a lot of people creating a lot of wealth that with non-gaming content. So
gotta keep trying.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it just takes one person with the right idea, you know.
Keep working on that jiu-jitsu.
To them contacting PewDiePie, I think we should like start like a fundition of like everyone chip in where we got the top what DLive sent to PewDiePie and say come over the Vim.
Well, and that might have been a brilliant business move, co-branding. PewDiePie's got he's got a couple of followers he brings with him. You win a few, you lose a few. Even when you're throwing spaghetti at the wall.
So we have 2 people using Caster, but is anyone, you're not streaming to YouTube, right, Eric? Because it limits you for the free version. So that'd be the one thing, like if we could get everyone to use Caster and one of us go to YouTube regularly. I thought you were fiddling around with it, John. But
I haven't yet, and I don't have Caster.
Okay.
Oh, well,
And
if you want me to do YouTube, I could easily hook it up to use the SCP Returns YouTube account.
Okay.
Well, sure.
And then the YouTube, now does YouTube show up like the YouTube doesn't show up on live on the blockchain, right? You have to click on Vim too to go over there anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And I saw that DTube has their live thing back.
I never saw it go away. I click it like every freaking day.
Oh, it just doesn't work?
It just never works. It never went away. I complain all the time in Discord. I'm like, it's still up there. Anyone got any new news?
Before I heard about Vim, I actually tried to do the DTube like live stream. It never wanted to fucking give me the key.
Never ever. Once, like I said, I always say this. It happened once randomly, and I wasn't in position to use it, and I was like, "Oh God, I hope it's just as fixed now." And I never saw it again. I always wonder if I would have been able to set up right then, if it would have even worked. But I've gotten it once. They actually gave me a key, and I know Patrick at some point was saying that he had heard that they were going to stop using it, so I figured they'd pull it. But it's still up there, so I'm reserving some hope that one day they'll be like, yeah, try it out. Should be working now, because that would be cool. I'd utilize it.
If the button doesn't work, take it down.
I know.
If the door doesn't work, you don't leave it. You fix it.
Right. I did. You've been using DTube, Sean, to post your snaps, and so I've been starting to use it just to do VOD stuff.
Yeah,
I've been using it too.
And short videos. I haven't done that yet. I don't know.
I just try to stay as close to the community.
I also still highly recommend BitChute.
But it's away from the community.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not. I just don't know that audience over there, and whether or not they're. I don't know. I do more Steam related shows.
And both BitTube and BitChute both have their own coins. You got the shoe token for BitChute, and you have whatever the hell.
That's kind of my point, though.
I'm just not. I'm
fucking
don't.
with smoke. I'm like, I've already got too many I'm dealing with.
I don't. Yeah, I just don't. That's why I didn't go to Lino. It was like, and I miss a lot of the people that are over there. I know, Eric, you had that thing too. Is like, you're like, well, I met and built relationships with people on both sides. But I really am just lazy and not interested in going onto another blockchain and doing that kind of work.
If you're not careful, you're signing up for an exponential amount of work.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just have to choose your battles and be directional and intentional with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been good at because I've been playing Red Dead lately. So. Sorry, IRL. Like, I'm playing this game.
For sure.
We know.
We all need a vacation, man.
Priorities.
Dude on the web said he streamed a few times and it worked, but didn't have any chat or analytics. I think he's talking about DTube. And the DTube live stream worked for Harvhat, but there wasn't a chat. Yeah, so worked doesn't mean works.
Right.
But yeah, and I talked about earlier how the Vim.chat and Vim.bot are really cool extensions for the Vim live streaming. It's cool.
Indeed. Yeah. Yesterday's show, Music on Fire, that you can catch on Vim, on my channel. Yeah, that's what I was using, the song request feature. Having people throw stuff in there. I was throwing stuff in there. It was, a learning experience, like I said before, getting everything set up. But the next one should
badass.
Be yeah.
The next one's going to be even more badass.
Thanks. I know, right? I like that. Cheers.
Who has been peppering witnesses to fill out witness survey? Who here has not heard of witness survey? Ah, the
We've all heard of
silence
it
is deafening.
a million times.
Whatever.
I guess it's a good thing that Mickey's not here, because then we'd have to give Team Humble the old questionnaire.
Oh yeah, the 10 questions. Can't
I don't
do
do
that.
Forgot to give Katie
I
it.
don't do
He
questions
doesn't-
at 4
he
a.m.
doesn't
in the
take
morning. Get a
questions.
grip, man. You're the one who's got the whiskey. We're all sitting here salivating.
See? He gets it.
Yep.
I was hoping Patrick was here. I don't know if I can wing a witness survey. I saw a handful of people fill it out, but I'll be interested to see how far he's gotten. I know he has
By the way,
yes.
By the way, there's 2 easy ways to get Vim more traffic. The first one is collectively, we all need to send a message to Caster and get them to include Vim as a RTMP.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
RTMP, it's fucking early morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we know. Yep.
And then the second thing we do is go to restream.io. I guess you know those guys as well, right? Restream.io. If you don't, check it out.
Yeah.
You can pay $15 a month and have a custom RTMP stream in there. So like Vim could be one. But both of those guys would be open to add Vim in there. And just people using those services, seeing Vim in there will bring traffic to the site. So they're 2 things that there's a thing to do.
D Live's on there. Why the fuck can't Vim?
Yeah. Here.
Good deal.
I have to crash again. I just work too much lately.
Ah.
I love being here. You guys are really helpful to me.
Hey, I know you're working a lot. Do you want to do a deep dive with us into the CIA library?
Hell yeah.
If we
I'm
do
not
a
sure what
post,
that involves. Maybe that was courage born of stupidity. I don't know. Tell me more.
All right.
Segue.
So this was Gone Rogue had a couple ideas that he wanted to look into, but Deep Dives they're looking to have a post contest for the CIA library, and they're doing
Deep Dives.
They're doing a research challenge.
Okay.
And in this installment, they're going to make a second decent dive into the CIA library. And it talks a little bit about the Freedom of Information Act, the CIA library for FOIA online collection, give you the link to the reading room, and I'll just scrolling down here to the...
Oh, so those were some possible topics, something about MK Ultra, Operation Phoenix, things like that.
That's kind of a lead up, and then they get to their CIA library challenge.
All right.
It says, read the directions carefully, check the archive, find an overlooked, underrated, underreported, or obscure CIA government law enforcement document on a topic that interests you, build a post around your findings, provide additional resources or sources to make your case, and explain the significance of the document and why it's an important piece of news that should be communicated to the public.
Right. Okay,
So I thought the Steeming pile could crowdsource a post with an article. If we all find some articles by next week, everyone bring it, review them on the next pile, and figure out one, and then write up a post and submit it.
All right, I will look into that. I will see if I can find a topic that the CIA is fucked up.
Okay. I'm going to put that link in Discord. Eric?
That's my question for the frame.io thing. For Team Humble's project over there.
Is what?
Is this article. There's your question. Make a video.
You don't want to crib their idea outright.
Yeah, there's no question.
I don't know. Right?
Oh, there's plenty of questions and answers.
I'm just going to have
right
my channel redirect to Eric's. Yes. My work just got a lot easier. Okay. You guys are beautiful. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later. I got to go.
Good night.
Peace.
So on that note, if we have time and depending on what topic we pick, I'd also like to, provide a source, because they say additional sources. Well,
yeah.
I'm thinking sources like people that I could interview, do some shoe leather journalism, since I enjoy that so much. And so depending on the topic, if I could think of any sources that I know in the Seattle area, academics, I know people in politics. So it's always possible that I could work into that too. So should be fun.
Cool. I just had something go out. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my internet or
Oh.
things might be going haywire over here. I'm glad you guys can still hear me. Okay, cool. So, given that, Eric, do you have any interest in collaborating on a post with us, or doing a little bit of research into the library and maybe bringing some obscure things to next week's pile?
Well, see, there's this thing called Red Dead.
I'm working and playing video games. I have no interest in the CIA.
I kind of do, actually. I was really going through the Podesta emails. That was pretty interesting. I was really into those. And I found a couple posts that I sent to somebody that I know makes articles for Sheep No More, and I'd send it to them occasionally, and I'd find one, and every once in a while they'd write an article about the individual email that I found. So I kind of dig that. I think I might look into that.
All right. So I'll put it in on our Discord on what is it? Streamers 24 Hour is where our channel is. I'll put it in there.
I will. That's another project I'll get going on. I got Mr. Spacely made me a logo.
And
So
if there's anyone watching on any of your streams or ours that's interested in working with the Steeming Pile and putting a post together, then whoever is involved in it, and we'll post it onto the Steeming Pile, the actual Steeming Pile channel on Steam, and whoever takes part, we'll get and split that up amongst everybody.
So can you throw that in the chat here in the Zoom chat?
Yep.
And then I'll put it in the streams.
Yep. That was all I had.
It might be a conspiracy theory, but
that's all right. There it is. For everyone.
Well, it might not even be a post. It might be me making a video and with the full blown do.
Well, you have to read the post and go to the library and find a document or find a document that supports it.
Yeah, I like, actual investigatory.
Yeah, you can't just say like we're doing a paper on this, and so here's my video of me reenacting what I think may have happened.
Link.
Ooh, we could do like a junk history.
Well, that may be fun.
We could do that on frame.io. We can do that with Team Humble. We can do it.
We should.
We could do how Steem got started with Dan, Ned. Like, this is our version.
Oh my goodness. I think we're onto something there. I really do.
That's one to keep on the burner for sure.
Or Sean, we could do a some sort of smoke.io project. High history.
Shit. I could do that. I think I do that like every day with somebody.
I love that idea.
All right.
Didn't you have one, Eric? Didn't you have one early on where it was like if Steam It was a person?
Yeah, that's a video I'd really.
Like the College Humor bullshit where they have Google as a person and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we were talking about doing some sort of promo for Steam as far as like a live action of how Steam works. Somebody's at the bar, they're exchanging pennies back and forth. Somebody comes in with money, starts throwing money in the air. Hey, listen to me. So like
someone says something that isn't really offensive, and then someone throws up a downvote flag.
Yeah, and takes money, starts grabbing the money.
He's like, wait a minute.
Starts taking money from them. Like people that are trading pennies back and forth are kind of ragged. The people exchanging $5 bills are dressed nice, that kind of thing. Somebody up on stage, people throwing change at them. I don't know.
I can picture it. But yeah,
I just think that'd be a fun thing to do.
put the Smoke.io idea in your hat. We'll
Yeah.
talk about it offline for sure.
We can talk about it now.
Shit.
What do you
Well,
want
let's
to
do it. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. When do you want to do the first episode?
Let's talk about the Civil War.
Okay. I think the less we know, the better. We're just gonna wing it.
Well,
right?
is that what we'd go for? Is talking about stuff that we absolutely don't know about? Like would that would be the point, right? Not actually trying to educate people of the whole basis of it. Like
I don't want
really
that on me.
know.
Yeah, I don't want that on me.
Yeah, I'm probably
I
wrong.
remember probably 50% of what I learned in school, in political science, and we'll go from that.
All the other bullshit force classes.
No, I went to school for it. Like I'm talking college classes.
Oh God.
I studied, on purpose. I love that shit. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like when I hear the, this deep dives project, it just takes me back to a reason to. I graduated and I freelanced with some local papers, and it just occurred to me that I'm not the best writer as far as efficiency goes. Like it takes me a long time to write stuff down and get my concise and clear point of view on paper. So because of that, broadcast journalism is kind of where I ended up going. And who hires the most in broadcast journalism in my area is Sinclair. So I don't know. Sinclair's not the place where I'm going to be working, so there's just not a lot of options actually outside of them. They really have a pretty big stronghold up here, and it's just it's hard to get into media. So I've instantly, right after graduating, hooked up with John off chain, and we were doing stuff together. I just instantly was looking for ways to independently practice some sort of journalism or commentary on something or other, and this led me here. So how the hell did I get up talking about myself like that? That was
Bacon says he's on Smoke.io and he's into the Civil War. So we'll just have a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about telling the guy that does know what he's talking about why he's wrong.
You guys could get on actual Civil War buffs and just say this is serious Civil War show. Then when they get in there, be like, "No, that didn't happen. Oh, bullshit. He was not."
And then he stopped and drank the Coca-Cola.
They're smoking a bowl out of the cannons like they did.
Eric needs to take all of that documentation and narrate that on top of Red Dead Redemption.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. I'd have a lot of fun with that.
Now, do we VOD it or do we stream it? We got to stream it, right?
Both, man.
Both. Well, of course, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You could just walk into the little places and just start doing some fake news CIA stuff.
That's actually quite a good idea. Just make a documentary about going into a town and causing ruckus, or just investigating people and talking to people and.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
And if you do it as a parody, if you do it as a mockumentary or parody, then you don't have to worry about licensing issues and things like that. So.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
That'd be great.
There's
a video series called Filthy Artie. The main character in Red Dead Redemption's named Arthur, and somebody made a series called Filthy Artie. Basically, they're trying to make him the dirtiest, fattest, just meanest guy. He slams all the doors, knocks people in the mud all the time, and just somebody's doing a series of that. And I watched people started sharing the third one, and I watched the first one, I watched the second one, and they're okay. Third one was hilarious. I'm not sure if they put out more or not, but it's just things like that. If you like the game, you just make content around it. It's they're giving you a canvas. They're giving you a playground to start with, and you decide what you want to take out of that.
Yeah. That's cool. What are some other show ideas that you guys have that we can use Zoom for?
Drunk Kitchen.
What is it?
Drunk Kitchen, where you cook something and get absolutely legless.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. I think Drunk Kitchen would be good. I think shows where people cook the same dish or you cook a different meal would be would be good. I think some type of game show.
Cooking while getting blown by emo bitches.
I saw your turkey video, your tofurkey video.
What did you think?
There were some parts where I laughed, and I don't know if I should have, but then there were others where I was like, okay, and then there were some where I didn't really know if you were being serious or not. But then it's your style, TJH. That
sounds like a roller coaster.
Like, what kind of? Here's my question. Here's a serious question. What kind of fucking knife did you use to cut that thing? Because it just looked like you stepped on it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I guess he's not taking this serious because it just looks like he stepped on it and put it on a plate. What happened? Like, did you just only have a butter knife at your disposal?
Oh no, I actually intentionally fucked it up just so I could.
Okay.
I also intentionally said, like, I'm probably gonna be a 30-year-old virgin living in my mom's basement. I also intentionally had all this this giant fucking knife that.
Was there more?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of
you stopped, so I was wondering. Go ahead.
So like I said, I cut the package open with a giant ass fucking knife. And
yep.
I'm going through all the hidden bullshit that I did intentionally.
Gotcha.
And then
you know what I think would be really. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you done? Did I interrupt you, TJ?
It's fine. You were saying?
I think something I would be interested in, maybe participating in, but definitely viewing, is all guys, regardless of how good of a cook they are, they all kind of have like one recipe that they really enjoy or really like showing off. I think that'd be a really neat project for not necessarily just single guys, but single guys of like, hey, what's your go-to meal? What's your foundation of meals? And if we all throw one in, you can have a week's worth of recipes.
Yep.
All of our best ideas,
And I think creating broadcasts, like social broadcasts or shows like this, on the different apps. So like we talked about when we had the Steam Hunt guy in here, and Phil, I know you do some work with them, like doing a review show, like where everybody opens and demonstrates the product live, or doing a D-Taste where we all create something live and submit that. I think that has potential. Or pick a different app like App Picks and we all share our photos, or Partico and we all take a picture, share it, or take 5 color challenge and do a video around that.
Yeah, my other half, Dale, she started doing meal prep like 3 months ago, and she absolutely loves it now. So she's turned it into like a whole thing where she like sprints 2 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, doing all her work clients. Then she goes out and buys all the ingredients like that she needs, so she knows how much the price of everything is, and then she just cooks everything like on a Wednesday. She's got like 10 days worth of food ready to go in the freezer, and then pulls out stuff at night. And she's just like, she's gained so much time back. I think videos like that, videos that show you a way to optimize your time, always win with me. Always.
Well, that's people in general. Make my life easier. Make my life easier. Make my time more efficient. That's it. That's the basis of consumerism in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Give me what I want. Make my life easier.
Anyone else out there, if you guys have some ideas for what some other types of broadcasts or shows that we could create, because we don't even, they can be broadcast live, but we can also just come in and record it in-house and then edit it and put it together too. It doesn't have to be live. I like the live aspect.
Show up to XCWE and wrestle a match if you want. I don't give a shit.
Really? Who are you calling someone out?
Well, all of you could show up and you can wrestle matches. Hell, I'll even let you dress up as Kent from D Live and beat the shit out of me.
I'll have to dress up like Kamala.
That wouldn't be too complicated.
Now, Sean does MMA though, so he might have to do like a little Ken Shamrock action where he wrestles and then he puts you in a rear naked choke.
I like the name drop. I'll chicken wing his ass. No, I'll play nice.
Bacon is all in on the high history. He's all in. He's spamming He's putting his phone number in my chat. Like, call me.
Like, that would be good though, because you guys can pick a different topic. I mean, obviously, you can pick different wars, different
No,
topics,
Oh
and then you
man,
can
yeah.
just
And it does not matter how much we know about it. If anything, it's more humorous. Just, hey, I want to hear what you know about it. Like, how much of a bare level basis do you have of the foundation of this history?
Here's the question though, because it reminds me a little bit of the Dollop, which is a really one of the funniest podcasts I know of. And it's basically two guys. One of them reads a story from history, and they just riff on it, and they're just fucking hilarious. So my question is, would we just go in, just like Civil War, boom, let's action, or does one of us have a actual narrative of what happened so we can go like, actually it was because otherwise, I mean, I don't even know where we would go with it.
No script.
Because there's whole gaps.
Oh yeah, we all have our Swiss whole cheese of knowledge.
Okay.
You know, like I
just hope to have enough people there that we can make sense of it.
Yeah. For the longest time, all I knew, like I didn't know what a scion was other than a car, and then I found out that it's like a family, like a legacy of a family, right? Like that's.
You're blowing my mind.
What's a Swiss whole cheese of knowledge?
Like
I'm not familiar with that term.
Like you do too much psychedelics and you just have dead spots in your brain. Like.
Gotcha.
No, just mean as far as stuff that you should know that.
You mean a Swiss cheese hole of knowledge?
Okay, yeah, that sounds even better.
I just wanted to see. I didn't know if that was an actual thing.
I think he riffed it. Yeah.
Okay.
No one really knows. No one can sit down and say the like full story of Civil War. We're not historians, but hopefully we all know a little bit enough that we can get through the whole
You guys
thing.
are going to end up the whole show Googling. You're going to end up the whole show Googling back and forth.
That's what I was suggesting, John, is whether one of us could have just the basic to keep us on track. Like, okay, actually, we're in 1900 or 1900. See, that's how fucking little I know.
You need to elicit. You should find like a high school teacher per show. And they keep you on track, and then you like just argue with them the whole time.
If you could just find a historian.
Jim and my
see how fucked up this guy's gonna be.
You can get people that know the story.
I could see Eric say,
find someone from Steam at Education.
Eventually,
history
after we
stuff.
record it. Oh, we could do a rebuttal video.
Oh my god!
Make a rebuttal video.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Or if just somebody knows a bunch of history, like I have, I trace my family tree to the mid 1700s, and that would be, I could make a little clip for that. It's actually pretty entertaining. My family came over from Scotland. We were loyalists during the Revolutionary War when Americans won. The United States won. We got kicked out to.
Oh, we're doing it now.
No,
okay.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like that's a story. I have a lot more detail within the storyline that I could just get super baked and just be like, yeah, dude. So like, he stole a horse.
This show's gonna be 15 minutes max.
Maybe.
No.
It depends. I think it depends on the story, man.
We have to do one on the Titanic because I know a lot of shit about the Titanic.
My grandfather pulled out like a bottle of Coca-Cola and he drank it, and that pissed off people.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And you know what? Honestly, no, that's all me. I'm terrible with history. I have no sense of history. I mean, I don't even have a Swiss cheese brain on history. It's worse than that. So I would only be a viewer. Or
there's gonna be
some
lots of
weird back end thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the draw. Really,
yes.
Is the people like saying these people are idiots. And we just put our, show our ass in full display. And,
honestly, the coolest thing about it will be that I'm going to be talking honestly about what I honestly know, but I don't have to worry about if it's bullshit or not.
Yeah, guards down, just let it out. Yeah. No, I think that'd be great. I really like that.
Yeah.
What are some other show ideas that you all have in the audience? Get those in chat, and we'll bring them in live. As these guys keep pondering on the
Jim says he has the story of the O'Reillys. I'm not familiar with the O'Reillys.
The
might be-
O'Reillys.
Oh, the auto parts company?
I don't know, maybe. That's my only reference point.
Sounds familiar, actually. I've listened to so many dollops that they cover all kinds of crazy ass stories. So,
But it's the possibilities are endless, you know.
oh,
Emo
indeed,
just puts out that canvas, and
yeah.
I'd love to see a podcast for people to go and record little audio interviews with their grandparents. I think we lose so many like bits of knowledge that, you know, from like 80, 90, 100-year-olds, and maybe you just mash those things together, like just get people to send them all in, so you have this like conversation that makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. Like you have the first like 5 minutes of somebody's story, reacting a story of like, you know, Italian American first generation arrived in New York, and she tells the first section, and then you mash it up with somebody from the other side of the country. That would be fine.
Sounds like a project for your dad.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, like, you know, at the end of the day, look, we can have our ideas all day long, right? It's just coming up with, you know, great little shows like this that come up with those ideas, and then you just launch
and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
you
it.
just launch it and say, hey, add that stuff in. That's the whole point of making the whole thing easy, like Eric said.
Yeah.
It's got to be easy, otherwise I'm not going to do it, you know?
I would say a show of fake news, like specifically fake news. You know, that I think that'd be pretty funny. We all got to laugh at ourselves, man.
Then you'll have people arguing about which one is more fake.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
Actually, that's kind of true. Yeah. I like that idea of talking to the grandparents. I myself don't have any grandparents left. I lost my last grandparent at 17, so that would be something that might be a little entertaining for me. For sure.
I've that's the reason why I brought it up, is that I missed that opportunity to do it. My granddad worked. This is going to blow a few minds probably, but my granddad worked on the Merlin engine, on the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine.
Wow.
He was a union man, and everybody like got on with him, and everybody like, you know, he made sure they got paid fairly and stuff. But yeah, man, I'm gutted that I made a mistake there. I should have captured all that stuff. I didn't do it. You know, like the stuff that we need to keep and stuff that we need to learn from. So
Yep. And
I am definitely most geeked and excited about the educational aspect.
Harfat says he's old enough to be a grandparent. And dude on the web said that there are some people in Fresno that are doing that for World War II vets, interviewing them and sharing their stories. So that is awesome to know.
Yeah.
Get them on Steam.
Yeah.
Make a show of it. Stick them on Steam for sure.
Yeah. Frank joined us. I don't know if he's listening or chatting or both.
I was listening.
Hey,
how are you guys?
Good. How's it going?
Very well.
Thanks for jumping on the pile.
Oh, how am I sounding?
Good.
Okay, good. Sorry to do that to you guys. Just wanted to crash. You know, I do this for therapy. And I'm watching, you know, Sean talk about stuff, and I'm like, I'm not even really connected. I have no idea who you guys are talking about because I'm trying to do multitask. And I suffered a lot of brain damage, guys, but I was a really smart guy back in the day. So it's like when I get cross-wired and I fuck up, you just have to go with me on this one. But it's almost like I just want to tell you this story about how you're like solving my problem. Like I want to just bring a war and let you just shit pile my war. Just explain it to these bozos how I work and how like I'm so far ahead of them, like by years, and how I don't know, silly they are, whatever. Turn them away, turn them into better, more useful idiots, but get them on Steam it, is what I've been saying for like over a year. Especially when I was kind of punking or trolling a LARPy community on YouTube, you know, because I was just trying to avoid a lot of what I saw was dickery and all these other social networks, and how a centralized identity system and then exposure to the dollar is the most fucked up social experiment that I want nothing to do with. And it's like, oh, there's Steem. It's like, what's that? It's blockchain. Oh, what does it do? It's like, oh, you figure it out. I'm like, all right, call me. I'm in. And then I just started like from day one writing a sci-fi novel from day one. Okay. It's like a page in a sci-fi novel. This is how I got through my therapy, my catharsis, and all my problems, my neurology issues, and all this other shit. I had this really, really strugglingly awesome stoner survivor story. Okay. It's just like waiting to be a bestseller, but I don't give a fuck about that stuff because I'm already on Steem It. You see, like from day one, I already like fired my, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick, everybody involved in the process of all the dickery and like sticking that on dollar systems. Like everybody wants to get paid, fine, go get a Steem It account and talk about my book on the fucking Steem It, the Steam engine, all right? And that's how you do it. And I got a bunch of people kind of promoted in the first year. And then the second year, it kind of expanded out. But that was 2017. And then that brought us into 2018. And then that's kind of when I started meeting guys like you. So I've had like this 2-year history, this game plan that was unfolding of kind of a civil war anyways, in like this world. And then I hear you guys talking such great, like return fire, awesome stories, great energy, concepts. And it makes sense. Like you're getting it better than I wish I could get other people to get it. Like you guys, my best promoters. And I don't even know what you're talking about because I just inserted my book into whatever it was you were talking about. And I was listening to it. And I'm like, yes, they get it. You know, so like I tricked myself into thinking it was spontaneous and awesome. So that's how I introduced myself tonight. You see, so I apologize. I don't know what
That
you guys
was
are actually
epic.
talking about.
That was epic, man. I would have just bought you a drink purely for that.
Right. I finally know how to read your blog.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You got that now.
Well, I have Swiss cheese brain, as we all know. I do this to stay alive.
I just hit my pipe. There was a time where I was doing that to stay alive. I'm serious when I say like it's a survivor story. It's like, oh my God, what'd you do? I'm like, it's like my family let me do pot and I healed myself. Oh, okay. You know, and then it's just done. You know, but then I can throw in a lot of fire and brimstone and really creative stuff, and that's all part of the storytelling art, right?
Yep.
And who am I going to waste that on? No one. It's like I already wrote it. It's a book. You want to go back look at a shit post I put back like 2 years ago. You want to know what it was like yesterday? Just go look at my shit post yesterday. It's the same shit. It's the same kind of drama kind of unfolding in my stuff, but it's still my sci-fi. You know, I post under fiction. I don't really expect a lot of flack for it, so I go out there and I kind of produce my own flack, my own marketing flair. You remember, like Bernays got a whole generation of women to smoke because he would set up these like little marketing ops back in the day. You know all about that? Everybody nods when they hear Bernays.
I don't know about that.
Bacon, I'm not sure if you're on my stream where I went off on about Bernays for over an hour.
Dude, it's like that's how I like psychically remote view all of you guys. It's just. And in the current state of like how the world works, this is not hard to figure out. It's like, what's going on? Well, I'm a telepath. Why? Well, because I sit at home and I watch a bunch of like people talking and doing and thinking and all this stuff, and we're all telepaths. And I just kind of wove that into kind of a Philip K. Dick-esque type novel, but my approach was to just rip it off, and then to go out into the public and make a big scene out of it, and like, hey, my shit's really, really cool over here. Come and look at it. And then like people would show up and be like, hey, you just ripped off Philip K. Dick. I'm like, I know. Look, it's paying me. Look at it. It's like I made 24 cents on this, or like $2 on that. Right? And then I can have that explosion, and they still don't get it. Like they just still don't. And I just try to like pop it into, an IT solution. Say, hey, look, just go store your ID locally. Here's how you store an ID, and then this thing will just kind of transact a imaginary token, and that's why I made that comment to Eric on your stream the other night. You're playing. I'm like, gee, I wonder how much all those lemons and ice creams are. About 40 cents. I'm like, but it's just marketing. I could have just as easily, hit that Steam button and, it's $1 or whatever. Like all this flim is getting lost on me, and then I'm watching the CEO of this company just keep tanking it harder. I came out on your guys' show and acted like a raving fucking lunatic before this guy started producing the last 2 bits of content that he did. I don't look so crazy anymore, do I?
It's nice to see you in the chat on YouTube when he's live. You're welcomed by people that are there.
Thanks, man. It's taken a while to build the history and the flair, but it's marketing. And I wanted a place where I could go back to and get a whole bunch of like cool guys in the clubhouse and be like, slam the door and be like, oh, guys, you won't believe this. I just started a fight. You'd be like, what? Like, yeah, like cicadas out there. And you'd be like, who? I'm like, just, you know, and I'd just curl up in a ball and cry or something. And then I have to let you guys take care of it because like, I don't know some of the wasp nests that I sting sometimes because I've always gone out and looked at it from the standpoint of like, yeah, I am kind of shilling this platform, but I'm really kind of shilling my own shit. Like I really wanted to like talk about sci-fi, or I want to talk about these weird subjects and get all mysterious and spooky. But then I don't want people to like have breakdowns and freakouts and like want to come back and stalk me because I had like unhinged them or gave them a nightmare. You know what I mean? But that's kind of exactly what the gift of a storyteller is capable of doing. And so if I was going to like scare a whole bunch of people, it would be these guys that scared me on the internet years ago. And it was all this puzzles and unfolding of mysteries and what was coming up in the, in the world. I was always so captivated. How could I market that? How could I go and I build that? And how can I be certain of that? And it wasn't until Steeming came around that it was like, milk, excellent. I'm drinking some Aquafina water too, but you guys have let me have like 2 bong hits while I'm here, or little pipe hits. So I also want to say that none of this stuff is inadmissible in court because I'm a damn dirty stoner. I'm on the jazz. What is it? The jazz cabbage or the?
I'm saving the recording of this as Exhibit A.
We're glad that we could provide you with that opportunity and the forum to make that happen. So you're not coming on here to talk with Eric and Sean about this damn history show, are you?
Well, what is this history show about? I mean, it's the Civil War, and it's what argue these guys that they're doing it wrong, or what did I hear wrong?
Pretty much spitballing, just spitballing a show for Team Humble's project. He's got a lot of cool things going on with Frame.io.
Team Humble doesn't want to do your history show.
Yeah, he does.
yeah, he does.
Eric, at least buy me a drink first. Telling me what I'm going to be working on. Fucking hell.
You've been around for a while in the community. I always love your stuff. What's going on? What's this IO project?
It's a collaborative vlogging project called Advent Tube. So we're using Frame.io. Team Humble puts out the questions for the day, and there's like 8 to 10 vloggers that answer those questions, upload their video from their phone, and he takes it, edits it into kind of like a 15-minute stream of consciousness that's a collective collaboration from as many people that submit the video.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So this has always been like an IT solution for me, what I've been looking for. I'm looking at Vim. Even though I'm looking over, actually now I'm looking over here. You guys got to understand, I deal with a lot of disabilities, so stuff like messes with me. I got this tablet to get the one factor down, like a clear voice communication with people, and I'm wasting it and giving it away to Zoom here. When I look over here at like Vim, what's cool is I had that access to what I was talking about before, the identity layer, where I go into log in, it says, who are you? I'm like, Steam connect me. And then I hit those little buttons that I know kind of keeps my identity pretty safe on this. And then I've got the upvote capability and I've got payment capability. And I'm wondering why Vim hasn't at least done something where you can maybe like a pay-per-view or a VOD, video on demand, or like a way of paying in order to even access the video. Because part of what I think is the problem is people want to share their video out and make it open. Whatever happened to privacy? And then also giving a layer of value to that privacy. So tokenization of at least private viewing of stuff like this is what I'm getting at. And then where the content comes from is beautiful. You know, like get 10 or 15 people to constantly post about something. I wanted to use that same kind of fractal, if you will, that same pattern, to go and like look at news events, like get several people that the community votes on to stick to, managing to look at one event and really boil it down, to a crucible level and try to get to truth. And that way we can figure out if we're being screwed with or, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why I wanted to bring that deep dive thing to everybody to see who's interested in working on that, because you can take that and create a post on it, but then there's so many opportunities above and beyond that. Like we can do a show about the post. We can have people come in and add more resources to it, make it even larger. But I like that idea that you said with the news stuff too. With us having this distributed environment here and simulcasting, we can have people come in and do their own news coverage to their audience, or everyone does the same topic or the same story and do their lens to their audience.
This is what I see happening is that this becomes, sorry to interrupt, it becomes kind of like the Windows layer. So when computers came out, Windows was an operating system that you put on the computer, and then you had to start loading software and stuff on it, getting it to work. There you go. You guys I'm gonna frame this really. Sorry, I'm looking at you guys for the first time. Have I been on your show before like this? Yeah. Because Eric said he's recording. Okay, cool. Because now I think what I can do is flip this camera around and do a screen share, right?
You should be able to.
So you're making a statement about a post, and the post becoming like a point of a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So look, there's where I was watching you guys. So over here is my YouTube discussion. There's something going on over here in YouTube. It's always distracting me. Like, is this work? No, this is my social. Like, what is a social network? I think YouTube is a social network, don't you guys? I think of YouTube as a social network, right?
Sure.
Okay. When social networks came along, I figured like productivity in the world went way the fuck down, because now we had this other thing to dick around with. And I saw a long time ago, like 10, 15 years ago, how you could, really put social networks to work for you. Like this became like just following your keystrokes throughout the day and where you're putting your information, who you're giving it to for free or whatever. That's one of my Aussie friends, the Crypto Beast. They're in New Zealand. I think he's Auckland, New Zealand. So he interviewed this crazy, wicked witch that I know of. And the reason I know of because I'm from Denver. And talk about a civil war. She's from Fort Collins. I don't like her swinging my family name around. So this is where there's this bunch of this public information. But I told all these whiz kids here a long time ago that I'm on this insanely cool thing. There's one of the guys' blogs there. I'm on this insanely cool thing called the blockchain. And I started doing alternative fiction. Let's see, alternative fiction. Where would you store this? Like if you wanted to get a whole bunch of like money for a good idea, you thought you had a good idea, you wanted to just, go write a book. It was 2 years ago. Okay. Block, alter, delete, Frank Bacon, crypto fiction for the crypto faction. That is like all the relevant information I need to give to a bunch of turkeys. Remember, I'm connecting this to a civil war and putting it back on our little operating system, Steem.
Mm-hmm.
Which I take all the way to Steem It, because I bought into this with Steem It, not just Steam. Okay, I literally hold that CEO to task. Like,
is that why you're so mad at him?
Oh God, yes.
See, I really don't even. It's hard I'm like kind of out there. I don't have those same kind of feelings. I just want him to improve his live streams and be better with that. Maybe have a strategic plan, but whatever. It's a decentralized community. We can handle it.
Well, here's one of the things he can't handle. Like I could have gotten him, Ned, even like as far back as 2 years ago, information from a guy I highly respect. Like I'm on the record of like respecting this man's work, like on the record. Okay. I put that on the record, not only on the block, but on a lot of other things. And now that you guys are on the block with me, okay, there's one little known picture of me with some other nefarious people in a Logos radio network that I took over in Austin, Texas. Was that 2 years ago? No. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. And that's my work, right? So that's where I got started, and that's where I keep a record of everything. And literally, Steem It works like this wonderful, like, what do I want to call it?
Digest, immutable public ledger.
All those wonderful things. And everybody else has got these like flamboyantly awful, more complicated ways. Sorry, I'm gonna hang up the mug there. I had to like promote my own shit in that fashion just to show like I'm unstoppable to these idiots on YouTube. Like YouTube can go away tomorrow. In fact, I want it to go away tomorrow. What's funny is I'm looking at all the monetized asset there. There's like a literary novel unfolding on that page alone. And I could literally just as easily go there and copy and scrape and paste it and make a shit post tomorrow with just some of the nasty comments from people right here openly. Imagine what all these other intelligence networking devices can do to, engines out there, NSA, Facebook, all them, they're all monetizing us. So eventually this value is going to the blockchain. As long as we keep this on the identity standards of Steem, and people know my work, in the open is very much an act of public fiction, right? There are so many people worried about being taken as truthers. I'm the only guy that came out legitimately and said, don't believe a word I say. I'm just using a different way of doing it now, or I'm using a different method to get it done. Like I post my book on a thing called the blockchain, so I don't have to kill trees for my crappy fiction, so sue me. Right? That's it. That's what it comes down to for me, literarily speaking. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
As a writer. So if that helps with tonight's little discussion, I just wanted to kind of insert that, guys, and say thank you for letting me kind of bow in gracefully and bow back out gracefully. And, keeping the show going is as important to me as it is for you guys. So like, I'm serious. I love what you do, and I want you guys to keep doing it and spreading the word. But I thoroughly intend to keep bringing you guys controversy, because controversy, and this is unfortunately one of the most controversial platforms to be on. Does that make sense?
I love it. Yes, as someone who feeds off of it, I think it's great. It's fun to be here. It's fun to read comments and blogs and listen.
So can I ask just your real quick, unless you covered this already, what did you think of Ned's last live stream with Android?
Oh yeah, we did that last Tuesday or last week. But yeah, Sean and I, like I said, Sean and I both wanted him to have a little bit more of some live streaming stuff. Trust your producer. When your producer tells you, if you have two cameras, then you need to trust your producer when he tells you that the camera 1 is ready or camera 2 is ready. And then as far as the background stuff of Steem It Inc., I've watched and read things that he's said to other people that ask way more poignant questions than I do, and way past my breadth of knowledge on not only Steem It Inc., but the blockchain and more technical specifications of it. So I'm just out, right? I'm neutral in that because I can only do what I can do. Now, if there's a way for...
Hey, can I ask you this? Do you know what block trades is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know them on Steem It as block trades?
I don't know I know that.
If you've looked at that account, so that account right there is like when I talked about the witness project, snagging 20 witnesses and really taking back control of a blockchain. Go and look at that post from block trades.
Okay.
Because they manage millions of Steem.
Sure.
And here they are with a very open post on it. In other words, they're doing more than what the CEO of Steem It does by just managing the block trades account, simply because they've got posting daily. They make these kinds of posts. That last one they did, where they're presenting a very like an altruistic, it's not altruistic, they got like a $250,000 idea that would shrink costs for Steem It, and it's a great time for them to take advantage of something like this, and this is how it plays out. And they checked with Ned, and here it comes. So like that's the kind of activity of put your money where your mouth is, do what you say you're going to do, and keep people abreast of the situation. I've never had a problem with block trades. There was a time when I almost flipped out because I was low on my meds, and I thought I lost a Steem transaction. I emailed block trades, or I sent him a weird message, and I got right through to a guy, and he cleared it up for me and corrected, put me right back on track. It was like customer service dream come true. And these guys are a subset of what the Steem blockchain is. They've already built a service on top of Steem, you see, trying to be this kind of a decentralized exchange.
And are you talking about, just to be clear, you're talking about the RocksDB proposal post?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. How that post is framed, presented, and informed is more of what I'm talking about. I don't get into the new, I don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. I'm not that level of IT, right? But I do know people that know what they're talking about. And, these are good ideas from good people. And then it's actually structured in a way and presented to the community in a way that this is the way you use a communication platform. You see what I mean?
Yep.
And so now this post alone can become a fractal point of awareness. This is how DTube started. Remember I told you guys that story where it was one post, it got $15,000 one night because it just moved through the community really quick. So it's really about getting the posts trending, getting a lot of eyeballs on it, especially from the Steem community. But we all know that Steem power is what really works. So you can go out and get thousands of minnows, or you can just start to, break through to a couple of the good whales. Or now with the price so low, and I hope it keeps going lower, I hope it goes to 2 cents, and just start bringing a whole bunch of new money on board and get it from somewhere and start buying back this blockchain and get it back. Because when I started on it, these were game plans that I was talking to people about, 2 years ago, when it was like $6 million, you could have picked this whole thing up with the right kind of social hack and the right kind of people, putting it into adoption the right way. And so the bottom line, and I'll leave you guys, he always should have worked on just being able to easily onboard people. And we're still at the point where it's not easy. It's hard as hell. And then when they finally do, now they're resource hindered. Okay, so keep taking this thing backwards. So, Steemit needs to just reduce its costs, and hopefully more of these ideas from the community will step in, and we can start crowdsourcing or crowdfunding or spontaneously crowd producing whatever solutions need to come about, and not waiting for the next bridge episode, which is Thursday. It better not have a guitar. It better be about this Rock TV proposal.
I think.
You get me?
Yeah, go for it, John. Go for it.
Well, exactly what you just said is exactly what I think they're doing or they intend to do. Now, I don't know the role that they'll continue to play, and whether they'll be a roadblock or be like kind of a road developer, and so we'll see. I think that's the next step, and we'll see what steps they're going to take to do that.
Yeah, we will see.
I think they've had their chance. Sorry, just to quickly. Before you go, Frank. I think Ned's had his chance in a way. I think Ned's had a lot of stuff put on him over the last couple of years. People have been like, "Well, we need this, we need this," and we've got used to the free thing. We've got used to Steem, the blockchain being free. It's been kind of hidden away in the background. We know there's costs. We know there's operating costs. I feel now we're going to see some great characters in the community come forward, optimize the shit out of this, and then we'll. Well,
you need optimizers for sure, because this guy's been what was his burn rate? Like $1 million a month. How many months did he have that burn rate? What did he show? He showed a lot of good things on Trello boards or something else that has nothing to do with Steem. I always take it back to that Steemit post. It's a 2-year-old post. It made $1 the day it was made, and it says the social network, blah blah blah, where you get paid for posting. But you look at its I still don't have any clear indication. Are they going to burn that money? Because that's still a lot of money sitting in that wallet. I mean, there's still a lot of, the solvency issue is secondary to the fact that these guys got over the major wave of getting this out on exchanges and being able to trade it. And then they continued to screw up the one thing that we needed most, which was being able to allow people to come on easily and understand how to use it right away and all that other stuff. And so their front end sucked right from the get-go. This is still, I think, the kingdom for the best crypto anarchists out there that really want to use this for disruption. I don't trust ICOs unless they can issue an ICO as a Steemit proposal first. And there's only been a few people that have been doing that. We got to keep on with that kind of behavior, I think, for the really radical, innovative, disruptive, quicker to market solutions that especially cut out middleman and middle management BS, which we don't need anymore, because that stuff can clear up in an afternoon with the right kind of. We've seen it with the social explosions. It's what social networking does. So, the ultimate thing is, I'm gonna steal his meme back. We're the bridge, fucko. We're the bridge, Ned. Okay. Now that's cool that you did your first episode on YouTube to go be the YouTube bridge. Great. Go and see if any of these people you find on YouTube are going to be able to follow you back in the kingdom. But I have been fighting for 2 years, and I brought 2,300 followers. Almost damn near every single one of those followers crying, scratching, crawling into the 21st century. I fought for my followers, and what I get, and it's my business model, and it works. And I'll bring controversy, guys, and the best fight back to my controversy is the knowledge of the block. You guys are in on the chain. This is all post-chain stuff for me. I stuck this out there 2 years ago saying the coming mimetic storm of social networking invasion to push people to go in there and then monetize their own daily bullshit. And here I am fighting with people right now on YouTube that are giving me more keystrokes and giving it to YouTube.
Yep.
If they can't use Steemit, I don't want them. But if they can, tell them to empty their pockets as the price goes down to 15 and 10 and 2 cents. Who cares? but dollar average it. This is a good investment model too. So if you're posting and you're producing steam, it's better because it's at a lower price right now because it produces more steam to keep up to that price. And if you're an investor, it's a good time to bring money into steam. If you want things done on steam, you certainly want to, keep an eye on this CEO, and you'll see where the dysfunction is and why it's not working. It's pretty clear. So yeah, Team Humble, I'm with you, man. He's past his prime for me. He's rotten fruit. I've already engineered past the poor kid because I use his network better than he does.
Well, here's the thing. I saw issues from that very first live stream. I know exactly what's happened, right? I know what has happened. Ned has sat down and he's picked up the business magazine of the week, right? And it's had a picture of Ninja on the front of it. And it says that Ninja is earning $1 million a month live streaming gaming. And from a business perspective, Ned's gone, oh, damn it, we should be on live streaming because, I've got good hair and I can do ASMR and I can tease these people to be our next.
This is after he just let the last one go for right.
But my point is, I saw the cracks on episode 1 when his team who were behind the camera couldn't do things like bring the desktop up and things like that. I could see the frustration.
You could see how frustrated he was. Sure.
I could see the frustration in Ned's face, and I'm telling you now, that's not the only person that's frustrated him for the last year or two, and he's just kept the payments going and the payments going. And so I think it's a big wake up call for the Steem blockchain, and I think in the next 3 months we're going to see more development from the community. It's going to surprise Steem it, and I think Steem it will become
I think it's the focus is going to go back to the community. I think the focus has been hey, stop looking at this kid. He's not even juggling the plates very good anymore. Look over here. Here's D-Tube. Well, okay, it's not great. Why? Because XYZ IPFS. You go over here. Okay, here was D-Tube or D-Live. Why did it fail? Well, I don't think it failed. I don't know what the hell happened there. That's the one thing I wish that guy would really address about why he let a perfectly good live streaming.
There you are.
D-Live, right?
C-Live.
D-Live, yeah. And it ran away overnight into a different blockchain altogether that gives out fruit pies or something, and people think that's cool.
Oh boy, shots fired.
So a guy that said on his live stream 2 months after that had already happened. That had already happened. And now it's 2 months later, and a guy who says on his live stream, my commitment is still to get this cryptocurrency adopted by more people and in the hands of more people. It's well, why have you made the wallet so hard to get to? Why did you let a perfectly good live streaming platform run the fuck off overnight and take all my hard-earned work I dumped into it? I dumped a lot of damn work into it. And that was the whole point of a blockchain. If I was good enough to get up in the morning and be able to hit my pipe and do the wake and bake and take my shit, because that's what, getting out of a dysfunction is like. And you don't have time to go and do the old business models, and you just want to do what wake and shake for everybody else with some, hey, look over here. Why? It's some crazy sci-fi. Okay. And they come into it in order to get into this sci-fi novel, they have to go through this fucked up blockchain. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. I don't mind it being freakishly awful to work with. I really don't. This kid can keep screwing up till the cows come home. He can't break it. I mean, can't get my shit off of there. I've already put a lot of work in. It's already paid me. I've already proven scientifically the models that most people are still putting up as barriers to even get out and do something different with their life. It's that clear. It's that clear. It's already an awesome thing. I just want to use it for radio. You guys do awesome radio, so that's what I'm just going to leave you with that. Let you guys get back to the show. Thanks for letting me crash it, and I'll be lurking later. Okay, guys.
All right, Frank. Good to hear from you, man. Thanks for checking in.
All right, take care, guys.
And Sharon. Well, Sharon said let's optimize like there's no tomorrow. Harfat said they should charge for API access, and that onboarding is the biggest problem. I wonder if the Oracle D piece that's going to allow other apps but onboarding is different than getting people access to accounts. So account creation, onboarding is interesting, right? There's a lot of tutorials and things like that out there, but talking about it is difficult, and the three different tokens.
Onboarding's only part of it. Like the real thing is retention. How do we keep the audience development, the eyeballs in that place? And I think Frank just came up with the perfect example there, is that you can carve out a piece of your own like blockchain. The blockchain is massive, right? You can not bump into people. There's like people doing projects on the other side of the blockchain that I haven't even seen yet.
Yeah.
You can go to Steem Hunt right now, top right hand corner, click on sign up and get yourself a Steem account. Because we've already pre-mined like 4,000 accounts. As soon as HF20 was announced on day one, Steem Hunt started doing that. So you only need a mobile phone number and you can get an account. But then the problem is, because of HF20, Velocity, as it was called, the worst business name ever. Even if you've got an account, now you need to have Steam Power in it. Right. You need to have mana in it. Otherwise, and people are not going to just set up an account. They're going to be like, I can get a, well, Tumblr's a bad example because they've just cut out all the porn today. But like, you can go to any other social media account and given them email and you can post on it. So we have a fundamental problem in terms of the brand new users. We need to be seeing a hell of a lot of brand new users come on every day if we're going to increase the price of Steam. But I think we will see. And by the way, all dApps need to have a pro account by the end of like the start of next year. All dApps need to have an additional layer in their app, be it Partico or some of these other ones, $1, $2, $3 pro accounts for something, right? So that they can maintain themselves with fiat just in case Steam drops off. Utopia are already doing it. Utopia are looking for $1 million to take their open source like platform. So I think it's been good, actually. I think this change is good.
Good stuff, guys. Good combo. Oh, and dude on the web says, then you lose your user key and you're toast.
There is that.
There is that. Sean, you got anything else? What's your audience doing over there?
What audience?
Ah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's lonely over here. That's okay.
You're like the only
telling
one on Vim that has like an audience. I'm taking a look at it right now.
Who, Sean?
No, you.
You.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Harv and Dude and Sharon. You guys are rocking it. All right.
They got to go somewhere.
Well, I think this is good for me at least tonight. Anyone else want to bring anything up before we head out? And or does anyone want to take over before I head out?
Maybe, I guess.
You gonna keep this going or what? Are you live streaming right now?
Of course.
All right.
And it's not fucking up like it usually does.
Team Humble Phil, thanks for coming on, man. It was great having you on.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm starting work now. It's like 5 a.m. I might as well stay up and work for the next.
You're gonna sleep great tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah, for real.
Do you take naps?
Yeah, well, what I'll do is I'll probably work through till like 8 o'clock, then go out and grab some breakfast and stuff like coffee and proper breakfast, and then I do 2-hour sprints. So I normally do 4 or 5 2-hour sprints a day. So I'm like hyper focused on that, and then take a 15-minute break. But I'm probably gonna get to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon and take a 2-hour sprint nap.
There you go. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, have fun
Thank you
today.
so much.
Do
Thank
good
you
work.
so much.
Yeah. That's Team Humble, everyone. Make sure you give them a follow and follow AdventTube this month.
Do you know what tomorrow's question is, John? Trying to think of it.
Yeah, tomorrow's question is, I just answered it before I came on. Oh, what is it? Nope, I don't. I have to look it up already. Sheesh, how bad. So bad. Oh, it's, do you feel safe in the world that you live in?
Oh, right. Okay.
You forgot.
I answered
you already did yours already. No. Yeah, I know.
No, we both did them, so I'm actually thinking ahead. I'm thinking of the next one, like the one I'm going to have to report tomorrow.
Day 6, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, it's super fun. So, yeah, everyone should check that out for sure.
You know, one thing I'd like to add to end on is you deal with the fun all week, and then we come on here and we talk about exciting projects, and we all have something else that we are getting excited about, you know. it really solidifies the unity of the community. I like that. I'm gonna have to save that.
The unity of the community. Bam. No, it's cool. I think, and I think the Vim folks are starting to hang out with us a little bit more and see what the show's all about. It's been an interesting transition. It's fun though. I like the using DTube and then going live here.
Yeah, it doesn't have to all be gaming. Yeah.
No, I think we brainstormed some good ideas.
Oh yeah.
On some
My
future
history's
shows,
going
and
down.
someone might steal it and take it.
The way I see it is, I have so little time. Take it off my plate, because I probably won't get it done.
That's
I'm an ideas guy.
Well, and that's the point about building a network, right? It's so like you hit me up and you're like, hey, what about using your Zoom channel to do a show? And I'm like, okay, I can make that happen. I also need some content for this website, so let's see what we do, right? That's easy.
Yeah.
So that's the point of having the conversations, having the show, and having people jump on the pile.
We don't know what we're looking for unless we talk about it, or what we're trying to do.
Yep.
And competition's good, so we can just see what other people do, and we'll just do it better.
Yeah. Or we'll just do rebuttal videos.
Well, what the announcement and the migration really taught me was to be flexible and just make it work. With them splitting, it encouraged me to stream to both. With Wemoan doing the Vim.chat, it's encouraged me to go to Twitch and Mixer and Stream.me, because he provided those tools to make it easy.
Right.
And with Smoke.io, I'm learning how to promote. People don't mind if you promote Steem stuff on there. They just prefer cannabis content. So, that's why when I did my stream of trimming, it was just an easy transition. And then somebody came in the comments, hey, I really like that idea. We should start utilizing that more. And then somebody else posted a video about wanting to do a weekly show and post it and call it Smokecast. And then I said, hey, I've been meaning to try to figure out some panel discussion with Smoke.io or something. Something similar to what we do here, just for the Smoke.io. Talking about where it's heading, getting developers on there, getting people that are doing projects. And it's all networking, and it's all just connecting, and that's exactly, just bridging the gap. Pardon the word drop there, bridge, but it's important. And the more you can do that, and the more you get comfortable with it, and it's not like Smoke and Steem are competing, they're complementary.
Mm-hmm.
At least they can be. And the more that we're able to do that, somebody might upvote your post on Smoke, and then notice they start following you on Steem, so then they'll give you an upvote over there too for the same content.
Gotcha.
That's cool. Yeah. I've gained more followers, and I've followed more people on Steem because of Smoke. I've found more, just like Team Humble was saying earlier about there's people doing stuff on the other side of the blockchain he doesn't even know about. There's tons of people we're still not following that are doing amazing things on this blockchain.
For sure. And Sharon said that too. He says he likes gaming, but it is refreshing to have other forms of content and bringing in people that you don't hear from, or that are out there, but you don't always get to meet them and see them live. So I know that's kind of cool. So we appreciate that. Harvhat says do rebuttal videos for things that never actually happen. And dude on the web says,
would you believe that Sharon is in Canada and doesn't like hockey?
I believe that. I'm in Ohio and don't mind hockey. I think I would watch hockey more than I would watch baseball.
Yes.
I wonder if Sharon likes baseball. Yeah, agreed.
I like hockey in person more than I like it on TV. Unless you're talking about the NHL playoffs, and that can get pretty exciting.
I was just talking hockey over baseball, but yes.
Oh, yeah.
I like hockey. I mean, hockey in person is definitely awesome.
Yeah.
I'd rather play, and I can't even ice skate.
And dude on the web says we need more Red Dead
I used to be
talk.
a goaltender, so I could easily play hockey.
I'm with dude. I'm actually thinking about when we jump off of here of joining some people just for an hour. I may or may not stream. Not sure. Might just soak it in. But I'm addicted, man, and hopefully I get it out of my system soon, because I want to do more of the DAPA days. I want to do like more of playing streams rather than just getting home, eating, cleaning up, and streaming. So gotta.
After this, I'm heavily considering doing another episode or series revival of a series I had on D Live that was called Completing Games I Never Have, where I last played the SpongeBob movie game, and now I'm going to move to Need for Speed Carbon.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
I didn't see that on D Live.
I usually broadcasted it early in the morning.
It was games that don't exist or games that you really weren't playing?
No, games I never completed as a kid.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, like, the first one I did was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Then I did the Jimmy Neutron movie game. Then I did the SpongeBob movie game, Super Sponge. And now I'm going to Need for Speed Carbon.
Okay. I remember that game. We talked about all the video games, last week I think we did.
Yeah, we had a little nostalgia hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I also did Breaking the Rules, Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules.
Nice.
I've never heard of that.
They're kids shows.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So, you guys all out of here? Anyone? TJH, do you want to stay streaming? You want me to keep this room open for you?
I'll probably still be here for a while.
All right, you can stay streaming if you want. You guys all can if you want. Who wants to be the host? I'll just make TJH the host.
Yeah, I'm playing some Red Dead.
Okay. You guys, I can make breakout groups too. I could put you guys all in separate rooms and leave.
A room of one. Cool.
He's
Yeah,
the host
I'm
now,
with that. Great show as always. You know, no matter who we're missing, it always we figure it out and keep it going. Great.
Exactly.
I look forward to it every Tuesday, man.
Cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I really do too. So, thanks everyone who's watching on my channel. Go over and watch TJH, Eric, or Sean's channel, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Night.
Hey, I'm leaving too. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'm out of here too. So it's just you, TJ.